Gary has a story about that. So it's weird. This is a weird one.
Really?
Yeah.
I told Howard, when Artie calls me, I'm driving in, and I'm trying to remember everything he said exactly because I want to, make sure I tell his story correctly. But
it's a shame you can't take notes while you drive.
I really had a hard time.
What time did he call you?
About 5:15.
Okay.
Maybe about 10 after 5:15. I really had a hard time fully understanding it, so I'll just tell you everything he said to me in the order that he said it to me as best I can remember it. The phone rings, I pick it up, it's like, Gary, it's Artie. I'm
with the Artie voice.
Right, and it was really sounded bad. He goes, I'm not going to be in today. So I said, okay. And then there's a long pause that he says, yeah, Howard was right yesterday when he was talking about my voice. I tried to say that it wasn't bothering me, but it is. And
remember I said Artie sounded like he had a cold?
Yeah. And he was like, no. And he tried to talk it off.
What, do you have a cold, Artie?
No, why? Does it sound like I have a cold?
You sound a little stuffy.
You sound completely stuffed up.
Well, I did feel under the weather today, but Robin inspired me.
And by the way, within an hour, it was gone.
Well,
right.
Yeah.
So the next thing he said was, I don't have central air conditioning.
Go ahead.
I got one of those wall units. So, like, when I wake up in the morning, it's like 2 degrees, and I think that's bothering my throat. So Jason said to me, he goes, yeah, I have the same thing. He goes, you wake up, your voice is a little scratchy, you take a shower, and then
it goes away.
But that's bothering him. So I was like, all right, I never know what to say,
Yeah, I woke up, I was bothered today, too. You know what? The alarm went off, and I was still sleeping.
So then he said that he was going to, get some antibiotics.
Right.
Oh, God.
Wasn't he just on antibiotics for something else?
I don't know.
I think he's addicted to antibiotics now.
Yeah. How does the antibiotics even know once he gets in there with the Subutex and everything else he takes?
What do they do? Where do they attack first?
Right.
So, and then he mentioned again, I'm really going over to my head, then he mentioned again that you were right, that you sort of called it yesterday. And then I said to him, we're going on that trip. So I said, we're leaving from separate airports. So I said, I'll see you in such and such a city on such and such a day, because I just assumed he's not going to be in tomorrow. And he goes, no, I'm going to try to come in tomorrow. I hate to miss the last day before we go away for a long time. And I said, okay. And then he said, if I get down to the drugstore and I get these antibiotics and they kick in, I might even come by today.
He's crazy.
How do antibiotics kick in 5 minutes?
Don't know.
Because there's nothing wrong with him?
No, and he said he gets some over-the-counter stuff at the drugstore that might help him.
Oh. All right, well, maybe we'll see him.
He is such a wacko.
Yeah, he is. I gave him, Gary says I kind of made this happen in a weird way because, A, I mentioned that his voice sounded different.
Yeah.
And then B, at the end of the show, a guy who's in the medical field, maybe he was even a doctor, I didn't read the whole letter, but this guy had sent me a letter saying that he's very familiar with treating people who are on Subutex. And Subutex is a very, very severe way of treating things. And the more it's in your system, the more you take. It should be taken only for a very short time by very, very heavily addicted people.
What are you saying? That you build up a tolerance to it and you have to take more and more?
No,
what are you
he
saying?
was actually saying in the letter, I should read that letter. Hey, Jason, I gave it to Artie, but if you could print it out again. The guy's kind of making the point that the more Subutex you take, that it can make you gain weight, it can make you feel sluggish, it can make you feel a host of different things, and that a lot of his problems might have to do with all of this Subutex. And that really 99% of the cases are treated with a different Subu something, but not Subutex, because Subutex is like
the end, like the worst one.
That's the extreme, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what he said.
So
you don't start with that.
So I gave this letter to Artie at the end of the show thinking, like I said, hey, Artie, I don't know if this guy knows what he's talking about, but it sounds like he does, and maybe you should read it. So Gary thinks between me saying that he sounded like he had a cold and that I gave him this letter, it might have sent him right into, I got to stay home and relax.
Jason was saying that what you're saying on the air yesterday, you sound bad, was almost like a get out of jail free card.
Right. Like a permission slip.
Right.
All right, here's the letter from the guy, and it's kind of long, so I won't read the whole thing. Tell me when you get bored. I'm an addiction specialist dealing with opiates. All right, so he's not a doctor. I'm a fan of the show, and I've heard of Artie's issues. I deal specifically with giving Subuoxone and Subutex to patients. Subutex is used on a very rare basis. That's the stuff Artie's on. I would like to know why Artie was given this more dangerous drug instead of Subuxone. Anyways, I am writing to help. I am sure you will not contact me back, but please just pass this email to Artie.
Who won't contact you back either.
Or someone who works for him to send along a message. The reason why he feels so poorly so often is the drug buprenorphine, Subuxgan, and Subutex.
Are you speaking English?
Yeah, I mean, don't ask. I can't even. Buprenorphine. These drugs are meant to take in a constant level, not on a sometimes basis. This is very bad that he's taking it when he thinks he needs it. It works by having the constant level in your blood and being able to reduce this over time. So the guy's saying Artie just pops him whenever he feels like
right,
taking
he's
them.
taking it wrong.
If you take the drug like he is, you will feel bad often because of the long half-life of the drug. It stays in your system so long that you don't feel the withdrawal effects for a long time.
Oh.
He probably doesn't even know why he feels the way he does, because it doesn't set in till over a week after you last took it.
Oh.
He's used to going through withdrawal hours after his last heroin fix. Well, this is totally different and worse than heroin in some ways.
Wow.
Yes, heroin is deadly, but as for feeling overall not well, buprenorphine is much worse. Again, the half-life of the drug. Okay, so I don't know how much you want to hear of this.
Well, I get the gist.
Yeah, what's he saying?
He's basically saying you take that drug, it stays in your system a very long time, and those effects that make you feel sluggish and sleepy and dopey and make you eat come up a week after taking the drug.
Ah. And plus, he's saying he's supposed to keep a constant level, not...
That's how it works, that when you're on the opiates, you keep a constant level of that stuff in your system to maintain a feeling of well-being and not feeling like you're going through withdrawal.
Right.
But you're not supposed to take it anytime you think you need it because it has this crazy after effect and this half-life.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
He's got levels of it going up and down and making him crazy.
Anyway, so I gave him the letter yesterday after the show, and I said,
That probably sent him into a real funk.
Yeah, I said, Artie, read this, because it could be important. And then he read it. I don't know what happened. Then he left.
That's not at work.
By the way, that's always a weird dynamic. Like, you try to give him, you don't even notice it, but like you're really trying to give him something, and he sort of like wants it, but he really doesn't. And it's always a weird thing when you try to give him that stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It seemed like it was important.
Well, you ought to give it to him. I just don't know how it lands over where he is.
Yeah, like how it affects him
Yeah.
when he reads that stuff, because he gets crazy about it.
I know, and his brain starts working on him.
I always think he reads something like that, he's going to go to a doctor and get some help.
No, I think he's going to take more Subutex.
Makes him anxious. Do you think losing Lord of the Anal Rings really shook the guy?
I think
That
it rocked his
too.
universe.
Yeah,
He
that
was
rocked
so
him.
proud of having that title for so many years, and Richard just trounced him.
And you know what? They made a good point on the wrap-up show that, he gave Richard his hoodie.
Yeah.
And then Richard wound up smelling Sal's butt. And then Richard tried to give Artie his hoodie back, and Artie said, no, thank you.
Artie said, not only do I not want that back, he goes, I don't want anything you've ever touched.
Right.
Well, I don't blame him.
You wore it, I don't want it.
Mel, you're on the air in New York.
Hey, Howard, what's up?
Hey.
Listen, yesterday on the wrap-up show, Ronnie was saying how you have like a whole new group of friends, and you had older friends that, you were cool when you used to hang out.
Oh, yeah, I heard
What
this,
was
Robin.
this? What was this?
Oh, I'll play it for you. I have it.
Okay.
Mel, let me play this for Robin. This is
Cool,
so
Howard.
fascinating.
Excellent.
Ronnie had an analysis of you?
Yes, thank you, Mel.
You got it.
All right, this is great. All right, this first clip, Ronnie refuses to write a wedding essay. I've announced that whoever writes a good essay will get to go to the wedding. And quite frankly, Ronnie knows he's already invited to the wedding. So
he's just being a big shot.
He's just being an asshole.
Yeah.
All right, so listen to this.
What is that all about, though, that essay thing? I mean,
It's Howard's making a bit out of it. He's like, hey, if you want to come to my wedding,
Right.
if you write it essay.
well, I refuse. I will not write one.
Why not?
Because yeah, I can't write exactly.
Because Ronnie thinks he should get in on his own narrative.
I mean, I know. I've been through. I've been through all his shit with him.
Didn't you write a letter to get your job in the first place?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
but
did.
go ahead. You put in your
But
time.
I didn't write a letter. Yeah, I did write.
Ronnie wrote me a mental letter when he got the job. I told
and
you
he
that
got
story.
the job anyway.
Ronnie, the limo driver, I met him. I was hired. It was early in my career, and I was hired to do a TV show in Hartford where I hosted a night of stand-up comedy. And the part of the deal was, and I had no money to get even to Hartford. They offered me a limousine, and who was driving this limousine? They'd hired Ronnie.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know how you
Right.
first met
That's
him.
how I met him. And he gave me a ride to Hartford. I did my job, and he drove me all the way home. It was a good 3 hours in the car.
Yeah.
And the next day, I get this. I don't even want to call it a letter. It was this weird piece of paper with almost like a crayon. I wish I'd saved this.
Was it hand-delivered?
Handwritten. No, it was just in my box, so obviously you dropped it off of my house.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He didn't mail it.
No. And it was...
A crayon?
Like a crayon, like a weird handwriting, like a child would write. What are you doing? No, it was like a...
Was it that lined paper they use in elementary school?
No, it was like...
Was it a grease pencil?
Full of misspellings, and I want to be your friend. And
No, I didn't say anything about I want to be your friend.
Oh, yes, you did.
I did not.
Dude,
I'll
you can
give
deny
me
all
a
you
fucking
want.
break.
It was a
Fred,
stalker psycho
Fred.
letter.
I spent the whole. Dude,
I never saw the letter.
I know, but
showed it to
I spent the whole day with you. Correct?
My
Pretty
wife,
good.
my wife
Okay.
and I.
But
at
I
the
never
time-
saw the letter.
No, but it wasn't in crayon.
My wife and I at the time looked at this thing and said, should we call the police? Now, I'm not fucking kidding.
He's so full of shit.
I know, I felt something, and I like you.
Yeah,
and I
right.
think we could be
I had a burning desire to be with you.
Yeah, and I think we could be really good friends. It was like 3 pages,
Yeah,
like
good
scroll.
friends. I didn't say anything about good friends.
What did you claim? What do you claim you said?
It looked like a third grader wrote it.
I admit, I said I was a big fan.
We had a rapport.
And I would-
R-E-P-O-O-R.
I thought we got along great that day, and I said I would enjoy working with him. That's what I said.
I
didn't
wish
say I
you
didn't want to
said
be
that.
his fucking friend.
Yeah.
And you drove over to his house and dropped this in the mailbox?
No,
I'm telling you.
I did not.
In the
must have.
darkness of night.
Dropping this mailbox.
So anyway, I'm just swearing to you on a stack of Bibles.
Yeah,
it was
okay.
so scary.
A stack
this
of
letter.
Bibles.
I called my agent up. I go, listen, you know that car they sent for me? I said,
Yeah, okay.
the fucking psycho driver sent me this like weird, like he can't even spell.
Yeah, and,
Yeah,
and that's why I'm
he's
here
like-
23 fucking years.
Ex-creamer.
I didn't-
Psycho.
I go,
You were
Inmate.
afraid, right?
I go, the fucking guy's retarded or something.
Yeah.
First of all, he can barely write. So, okay.
So what do? You hire him.
Well, let me tell you what happened. So my agent says, I got a letter too. I go, oh, you did?
You did? You wrote to Don, too?
He goes, the guy wants to be a limo driver. I said, yeah.
Wow.
I said, well,
No,
I said,
I sent Don a letter saying that if Howard, ever needs somebody else, because I knew at the time he had another company, and if he ever leaves where he's at, to contact me. That's all.
Okay. It should only have been that round.
Yeah, right. Well, bullshit, man.
You're making
So-
so much sense
yeah.
now.
So anyway, I swear,
Yeah, he swears.
I wish, believe me, I wish I could
He
bring my
swears.
ex-wife on to describe this letter.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure she's still shaking from it.
Yeah. That's why he let me bring his kids home from the hospital when they were born. Yeah, okay.
He's
So
afraid
then-
of you.
So
Yeah.
then,
What do you want?
So then, what is it, JD?
I just think Ronnie dyed his mustache.
What?
You think he dyed his mustache?
It looks a little darker.
Yeah, it's a little darker, okay? You happy?
What, do you think he's doing that
Fuck outta
Grecian
here.
formula thing?
Moron.
Did you dye your mustache?
I didn't dye it. I put this whole
coloring
shit
it?
in there, man.
You
What?
did the Grecian formula for the
it's not
mustache
Grecian
thing?
formula. It's not Grecian formula.
It's the same thing. You
Whatever.
rub something on your
What
mustache
did
to
you-
make it darker.
I don't know. It got a little dark, and I don't know what the
Take
fuck
gray
happened.
away.
It looks like a paintbrush you kind of dipped in
Oh,
the black paint at the
bullshit.
end.
Yeah,
What
okay.
did you use?
Mascara.
That just for men bullshit.
Yes, that's what they call it now.
Yeah. Yeah, the Keith Hernandez stuff that they advertised.
I heard that you said you didn't dye it, you just colored it.
I put that little brush shit.
Does it instantly change it, or does it take time?
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Now,
Yeah,
does that
5
wash off, or do you have to do it every day?
No, not every day.
Okay.
How often do you do it?
I don't know.
Is it the first time you ever did it?
Second, third time. Maybe a third time.
Did you put something
Very
in your
good,
beard?
JD.
Yeah. Who gives a fuck what JD says? I don't care.
He's going to Florida this weekend. He's got to look good.
Yeah, okay, so. So what?
Do you do something?
So what?
Do you do something to your hair too?
No.
No?
Wait, Ron.
What?
What'd you do to your beard? Did you put some of that?
I just told you.
No, just you told me the mustache. Did you do the beard?
The whole
too?
thing. Well, I'm just going to do one part?
I
But
don't
you know
You
what?
look like a fucking idiot.
You're
There's still
missing
blotches
a
of gray.
spot.
Yeah,
You're
I-
missing a spot.
I still see gray in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the whole idea. You don't
goes
fucking
gradual.
do the whole thing.
Well, how do you make it gradual like that?
He does a circle.
You just do little spots. That's all.
And then eventually one day.
No. You don't do the whole thing. I never do the whole thing. I never did the
How
whole
long
thing.
have you been doing this?
On and off, a little bit here and there.
JD, you picked up on that?
I just watch him.
No, probably the fucking guys in the control
no.
room did.
Actually, I will take credit for this one.
All right, good. Oh,
I wasn't so sneaky this time, Ronnie.
All right, whatever.
In your face.
What do you want me to do? You want me to fucking get mad about it?
I don't know. This is
You
funny.
sound pretty angry.
I'm not angry. I don't give a shit.
I'm going to ask you a question.
I
Right
would,
now.
if I was angry, would I answer you?
Are your pubes still gray, or do you do those
Do you
too?
do the
No.
green hair?
Get the
What is
fuck
that?
outta here.
Just for men?
Did
on
you
the
Just
pubes?
for pubes.
Did you put just for men?
Just for pubes?
No.
I use just for pubes.
No.
But I don't do the whole thing.
your
I just do
pubes
the
gray?
balls.
What's that?
Are your
No,
pubes gray?
absolutely not.
And you didn't put any
Little
just
chest hair, yeah, no.
you didn't put any just for men
Nope.
on your pubes?
Nope.
So what does it mean when you do the mustache and the goatee?
What do you mean?
I mean, why do you do that?
Why not? I don't want it to be all white.
It's all white
They'll
if you
turn-
do.
yeah,
oh.
probably turn all white. I don't want that to fucking
Why
happen.
don't you just shave off your goatee?
I like it.
Oh. How long does it take you to do that?
I said it's
Five
it takes
minutes?
5 minutes.
And then you wash it off, or you just leave
Yeah,
it
it
in?
washes off. That's all.
I hope that fucking documentary they're doing on you. They get
Did you
doing
get that, Greg?
Dude, Greg, I told Greg he should be outside my house at 3:15 when I walk out with the fucking dog.
All
He
right.
almost had a heart attack. He couldn't even get. Lucky
he
he got
film
here
you?
for he got here for Cupcake Wednesday.
Did he
today.
film you coloring your beard?
No,
That's what I
no, he
want.
doesn't come to my house.
You got to get that, Greg.
Yeah, really.
He's
we
coming
need
to Miami
see
with me
that.
though to Tootsie's.
When you use that just for men,
What the fuck, man?
do you ever
Come
get
on.
dye on the pillow? Like, does it ever?
No, it doesn't come off. Shit works good.
What do you go buy it?
Goodstein uses
Where
it
do you-
too.
he does?
Oh yeah.
Really?
He thinks he's got me fooled. He comes in. Some days his hair is like fucking dark as can be, and I say, Doug, what's with your hair today? He goes, what are you talking about?
Oh,
He
you
thinks he
think
got me fooled with his shit.
You think he puts just for men in his
I don't
hair?
know what he uses, but he uses something. Greg, what do you think? Come on, Greg.
You think Goodstein puts it in his hair or in his beard?
No, his hair. His hair.
In his hair.
Yeah, definitely.
Just for men.
I don't know what he uses, but he uses something.
What?
No
What?
way.
Come
Doug,
on,
Doug doesn't dye his
Yes,
hair.
he does.
He's in his 30s.
I don't give a shit, dude. He does. I'm telling you.
Just for men,
Just
for old
watch,
folks
just
like
watch
you.
him. Just watch him. Just watch his fucking hair. Some days it gets light, and then he'll come in on Monday morning.
But
It's
I've never
all-
seen
it's all
gray or
dark.
anything. He never gets gray.
Yeah, but there's something going on there.
Just for grandpa.
Right. Whatever. Whatever.
Just for old men.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Wow. You want to know something?
What?
I think it looks better.
Thank you.
I didn't even notice it. It looks natural.
I got to tell you something. I'm pretty impressed that you can put that shit in and not totally fuck it up.
Yeah.
That means anyone could do it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well, wait a minute. What were we getting to? We were getting to
The letter.
the analysis.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
weird though the way you shave your goatee. Like there's like you have two spots here that you let the.
I like that.
He's kinda
I
like
don't
got a-
like it. I don't like it all.
He's almost got like a spider's web thing going. He's got like the soul patch, and then there's like the lower part, and then there's like a thing like a little, I don't know, is
Yeah,
it a
but I don't-
balance or something like that?
Yeah, but I don't like the
That's
whole.
like curtains.
I don't like.
Curtains.
I don't like
Like
the
it's like
full. I don't like
drapery.
the full thing there.
And when you shave your mustache, you shave off the top of your mustache, but you.
I
leave-
don't want it up to the nose. I don't like it like that.
Wow. Like you have an opinion on that.
I like it the way I like it. That's it.
You like the hair to be not to come all the way up to
Yeah,
your
no,
nose.
I don't like that. It looks sloppy, I think.
Yeah.
You should be a magician.
Yeah, he looks like a magician with that beard. So anyway,
Yeah,
getting
get back
to
to
the
the other
story.
shit. Well, finish ripping my asshole apart. Go ahead.
So Don calls me and goes, he was looking into a limo company and he goes, I found a guy. I go, you did? Who? He says, the guy who drove you to Hartford. I said, listen, not anyone but that guy.
Dude,
I
you're
said,
so full of shit because.
let me tell you what happened.
No, let
I'm
me tell
telling-
you what happened.
Hey, I'm telling you what
You
happened.
weren't there when he talked to
no,
Don.
this is before. Wait,
No,
this is
listen,
before
I
that
go-
happened.
I go,
Wait,
let
let
me
me
finish
let me
my
talk
story.
first now. After Hartford, he got fired from NBC.
Right.
Right after that.
Yes.
Okay, that's when you guys got fired.
Yes.
And then he started doing the Club Benet shit.
Absolutely.
And then-
That's when I remember you
Okay,
being around.
and then my friend was doing the transportation for Club Benet. Okay, so he calls me. He goes, Howard Stern's doing shows at Club Benet. Do you want to do his limo work? I said, yeah. And then we got back together. I
okay.
saw him
All
again.
right, so anyway.
And then that's how I saw Don again because I met him at Club Benet and talked
So
to
let
him.
me tell you what from my end.
Yeah, okay.
So Don
Your
calls me up
story.
because K-Rock said they would get me the limo. you know?
Right.
And they said, so I had to go find someone. And Don says to me, this guy who drove you to Hartford wants to, do your work. I said, listen, you got to find someone else. I said, this fucking psycho wrote me a letter after he drove me, like Charles Manson.
Right.
Well, I remember
And-
even at the Club Benet thing, you go, that Ronnie's a stalker kind of dude.
And then,
Right.
So
totally-
watch out for him.
And then all of a
right.
sudden he was in my life with the Club Benet.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Me and Neil.
So then Don quoted me his price. He goes, look, he's like $2 an hour cheaper than everyone else. I go, he is?
Okay.
I go, all right, hire him. I threw all of my morals.
Yeah, all for $2 an hour.
That's
Yeah,
how you
okay.
got the job.
You know
That's how you got the job.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
you
That's the true
did.
story.
You
All
said,
right.
this dude, watch out for him.
Yeah.
And then you hired him full
Right.
time.
Right.
It was all I could afford
It was the worst day of your life.
because they gave a strict budget, and then I had to kick in some money, and I
Right,
went, hey,
right.
you know, I didn't have a lot of money for limos, so it was crazy. And I said, well, okay, if he's got the best price, then go with him.
It was crazy, and you hired somebody crazy.
I did. I hired a guy I totally mistrusted.
There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
Well, it worked out.
You know, most people I end up working with, there's always a debate. Call the police or hire them for less.
It's true. When you look through this cast.
It really is true. All right, so here's Ronnie on the wrap-up show. I'll continue the tape.
How you've changed, apparently.
I didn't say he changed.
And also,
I never said that.
How he refuses to write an essay, which is fine. You were invited anyway, and you knew that. You know you're invited to my wedding, you fucking asshole. Yeah, but fucking
so why?
Formula
So
99.
why do I have to fucking write an essay?
It would be funny.
Oh, I'll write you.
You don't have to write an essay. You're in already.
Yeah, I know that. So why did you say everybody here has to write an essay?
Did I say you by name?
No.
Did I say Rob?
You said
by name?
everybody.
All right. Listen.
Whatever.
I want you stop interacting with the show. Number one, you're a fucking guy supposed to stand in
Okay,
the hall.
I
Don't
am
even
standing in
listen.
the hall.
In fact, don't even listen to the show.
I am standing in the hall.
All
All the guy does, Jesus.
I know. I know you've been taping him for. You're doing the documentary.
3 weeks.
Documentary,
3
you
fucking
know.
weeks.
3
man.
weeks and you're standing in the hall.
Yeah. It's like hanging out with your grandpa, minus like the cool
Yeah,
World
right.
War II
Yeah.
stories.
Hey, fuck you, Greg. Greg, your light blew out again.
So I got the studio lights.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
wrote a letter. I wrote a letter to him, and I wrote a letter to Buchwald both.
Okay, so you're saying now you've put in your time. You shouldn't have to
No,
do
it's
that.
not even. It's not even that. I mean, I consider whether he considers me a friend or not. I don't know. I consider him a friend, considering all the shit we've been through together. I mean, I've been through taking his kid home from the hospital when they were born.
No, that's because that's your job. Who else is going to take my kid home from the hospital?
You in your own car.
I did that my first time home with Emily.
Well, I wasn't working you with Emily.
That's
Emily
right.
was a baby
and
when
now
I met
I have
you.
a limo, so I'm like, take my kid home.
All right,
It's not like he put the kid in there alone. Wasn't there somebody else in the car?
It's not like you did it for free.
Yeah, okay.
You didn't do it
I
for
did
free.
so.
No, you didn't.
I did so.
Get out of
I
here.
did so. Don't bullshit me now.
All right. That's your job.
But was the kid alone with you? No.
No. Oh, stop it.
Oh, no.
Please.
It's like he goes, I took his child home from the hospital. I'm like,
I've gone through a lot of things.
I feed your children every day.
Dude, I don't care if you consider me a friend or not. I consider you a friend.
Okay,
That's all.
fine.
You know?
Thank you.
And I didn't say you changed.
Well,
I never said
hear
that.
Let's go to the
Well,
tape.
you've said that before.
No, I didn't say that. And a lot of other personal stuff, and I feel we are friends, but
Have you? Guys,
I don't know. I don't know what really goes on in his mind.
I consider you a friend.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, get it together.
Dude, I
Pull
don't.
yourself together.
He has those insecurities.
No, that's
Yeah, you're like
that's
a
not,
fucking woman.
I didn't even fucking. I wasn't even
Why don't you
going
put a
that
dress
way.
on? I'll put my dick
Yeah.
in.
Emma, your friend.
No, I didn't. I never said that. Jesus.
You want me to fuck you? Is that what you
No.
Yeah, okay.
Whoa. No.
Are
no.
we still friends?
No. No.
Wow.
Yeah. Whack. Yeah. Goes on in his mind.
would you guys say you've drifted apart in the last year or 2 years or so?
Drifted apart.
No, like not as
No,
close.
we were never that type of friend where we always hung out together. I mean, we hung when I was friends with Neil and we all hung out together. That was another story.
Right.
But he's gone another route now, Howard. You know, so
Just going for a tall, hot blonde.
yeah. No.
Which is an amazing route to
I'm
go.
not even talking about when he met Beth.
Right.
Even before that, you know. But
What do you mean, Ronnie? I really don't understand.
he has a different line of friends now than what he used to have.
And you're not part of that mix?
Not in the social standard, no. More like, I mean, we talk a lot about personal stuff, but he knows I'll never reveal anything, and he would never reveal anything that I talk to him about if I ask him not to.
But if you don't get that invite, it would hurt, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Did you cry?
I would. It would hurt that I wouldn't even be on tier 1.
But he knows he's invited. You're such a douchebag.
Yeah, but
Beth
dude.
talked to you about the wedding a million times.
I know that.
Wait a minute.
You're being a fucking asshole.
No,
What are
I'm
you
not being a
saying?
fucking asshole.
What are you saying? That he's traded you in?
No,
for other
I never
friends?
That's
said
what
that.
he's
Where
saying.
the fuck did you say?
Ronnie and I used to go. Ronnie and
No.
I used to go to the strip clubs all together when I was single.
Yeah, but
and
once
when
in
I
a
was,
while,
you
it
know,
wasn't like we hung out all the time. I said that.
Yeah, I used to hang out. You know what it is?
What is?
I would go to the
why does
strip
he do-
club.
No, that's
Right.
not true.
And he'd
That's
be
not what I'm
there.
talking about.
And then sometimes we played cards.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So we don't do that anymore.
Right.
You don't get
You
invited to
So you didn't hear
the
me
card
cry?
game?
Did you hear me
I
crying?
don't see Ronnie putting together a card game.
Dude, I've invited you. Anything that I've had at my house, I invited you.
Right.
Okay.
I know.
And you know it comes,
So
but
there
it's
you go.
okay.
I'm not going to go to that.
I know.
I don't want to be at your block party.
I don't care.
It's the worst party ever.
Whatever. Dude, I don't care.
You do care.
No, I don't.
Oh, yes, you do.
You're on the
No,
wrap-up
I-
show whining like a
No, I
woman.
wasn't whining.
He went in
They
another-
asked me a question and I gave an answer.
He went
okay?
down another route.
Yeah, he did.
Right. So it should be
did.
almost Fred, Artie.
He doesn't hang around with those same
Gary,
people.
Ronnie. Like you should be in that sentence.
I feel so, yeah.
Right. No,
Whether
I,
he feels that way, I don't know.
I'm always making new friends.
That's okay. I didn't say. What am I
Sorry.
saying? What am I? Dude.
Sorry, I'm not sitting in your house with you.
You know,
Stop
you
it.
went down another route. It wasn't Ronnie's route.
Rude.
Please. Give me a
Ronnie was
break.
never on the route.
Yeah.
The Ronnie route.
Yeah. Okay, dude. Come on.
See what else you had to say. Oh, that was the thing about the horseshoes. Let me see what. I don't know. All right, enough of that.
You done?
Yeah. I didn't know you were dyeing your beard and mustache.
So what?
You didn't. You share all these personal things. How come you didn't tell him that?
Yeah.
He never asked.
He's your buddy. You're
never
supposed
asked.
To,
I don't look at you.
You got to
You
volunteer
look at me.
some information.
You said to me one morning in the elevator when we were coming out up in the elevator one day, and you said to me, "You do something with your beard,"
Yeah.
and I just said no, and you just let
so
it
you
go.
lied.
So you lied to me.
Yeah, but you normally it would have been one of these deals where you dragged me in here and said, you doing something with your fucking beard, like. You didn't do it. You just left it alone, which
Well,
really
you
it
told
shocked
me no.
me.
I assume
Yeah,
you
but
told me
know,
the truth.
since when do you believe what I tell you? With that kind of shit,
Well, when you were friends, you
especially when you
used to-
asked me.
I believed you.
Obviously, yeah, but obviously you saw something different.
Yeah, well,
Didn't expect you to lie.
I didn't lie, just bullshitted.
I like that Ronnie's dyeing his beard. That's so great.
Whatever.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
he's Playboy Ronnie.
Look at you. Yeah.
Playboy
look at you.
Ronnie.
Look at you over there.
Playboy
what?
Ronnie.
What about her?
What about
What
it?
are you saying?
Losing all the weight, looking
that's
good,
healthy.
looking good for Jim.
She lost the weight before Jim.
No.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
was
no, you're
working.
right.
She
Actually,
was
you're
working
right.
on it.
You're right. I have to say, you're right.
Wait a minute. I was working on it, which meant I was losing weight.
Okay.
No,
I never said anything. I'm not saying anything bad.
Jim met Robin when
And
she was
it's
fat.
so bad that I fucking put a little
Jim
color.
met me
Is
years
it
ago.
bad that I put a little fucking color in my
All right,
beard?
all
Is
right,
that
Ronnie,
bad?
You're giving everyone a headache. You can leave
Yeah,
now.
good. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Had enough for you anyway.
Let's go, Just for Men.
Yeah, get out.
Just for, from now on, just call him Just for Men. I like that. There goes Just for Men. Just for Men.
JD, good find, man. Well, sometimes I notice things, and I notice this. You can't dye your beard or whatever you got on your face without me noticing. Why do you think he did it? That he's newly single? Listen, he wants to look, a little younger than what he is, probably. Think it's gonna work? No.
Vince, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, Howard.
Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning, yes.
Yeah. Hey, just a couple of things. First of all, I think that marriage is great as long as you have nothing left to live for. So congratulations.
Do you think it's impossible for a man and a woman to have a friendship and enjoy each other forever?
Yeah, I honestly do.
Really? How many times have you tried?
I've been married once.
Well, see.
So, but I have no problem living with somebody that I love for the rest of my life without saying I do.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I guess I would have been okay with it, but I don't know. I'm really excited about getting married. I'm not a delusional person in that I believe every marriage is going to last forever. I know they fuck up, but Beth and I seem to be on a good roll. We seem to really be in the right zone together.
Well, the one thing I don't understand is how you two people who didn't want to get married are getting married.
Yeah, I don't know. It was. I have to say it was my idea. Beth didn't put any pressure on me. She never said, let's get married, or I want to be married, or gave me an ultimatum. I just started thinking about our lives together. started to think about, a lot of different issues about how, in some ways, it would help our life. It's like some people wouldn't treat Beth that seriously before we got engaged. They wouldn't give her a certain respect, and certain people didn't acknowledge that we were really together. It almost smacks people in the head that, like, this is for real. Mm-hmm. And also, I think Beth, I wanted her to know that she would be secure in the relationship, that, like, I wasn't going to just sort of handle this thing frivolously one day and walk out the door. I wanted her
you
to
can
know,
still walk out. Marriage
Right.
doesn't stop people from walking out.
I wanted her to know that marriage sort of says, like, this is a little bit more than a girlfriend-boyfriend thing, that I'm in this for the, for the long run.
And I think that you guys are great together, and you met the right person, But still, I just don't see any reason in getting married.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I was the same way, and I'm not sure I disagree with you, but I just felt in this relationship it was the right thing to do, and I'm happy about it. I'm willing to take a shot at it.
Why
All right,
is Sal here?
No, Howard, I just want to
ask your opinion, Sal.
I know.
You're not coming to the wedding anyway.
Right. Well, that's my point. She's already controlling you. She's telling you who you can invite and not invite to the wedding.
With her. I don't disagree with her. You shouldn't be at the wedding. You dissed you lied to my girlfriend. You dissed her. You fucking treated her like shit, and I stick up for her. I stick up for my friends.
What can I say about Gary Dell'Abate? You got a face like a horse. You've sucked Howard's cock to make it in show business, and you love eating at Nobu. Oh, wait, that's my roast about Beth. I'm sorry about that.
Is he ever going to get to Gary?
I'm sorry, Beth. In case you didn't get that joke, let me translate. That was me pissing you off, Howard. Howard, I'm sorry. I was going to ask your permission for that joke, but you were on vacation.
Dreaming about firing you. So then what's the problem? What do you think?
We all make mistakes.
She's not controlling me.
Yes, she is. She's telling you. She's dictating who should go and not go.
He doesn't disagree.
I don't disagree. You make her uncomfortable.
You don't disagree because
you're uncomfortable.
You don't disagree because you're agreeing with her.
That's right. I don't disagree.
Agree with her.
I agree with her.
Right.
If I felt she was wrong, I would say so. She's not.
Okay.
Yeah,
He does not agree with you.
In the same respect, if somebody shit all over you and you're a guy that is on my team,
I understand.
I would stick up for you.
I know you would, and I appreciate your loyalty.
If
and
some other radio show started pissing on you, I'd fucking piss right back on.
I agree, but the point is that
and the fact that I didn't fire you shows you how much I like you.
I wouldn't go that far to fire me.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been a lot. People have had a lot of scuffles.
I felt you made a mistake. You lied and this and that. But as far as making her uncomfortable at her wedding, I agree with her. Why should she have to be uncomfortable at her wedding for you?
And I agree with her too.
Right.
That's my point. It's her day, and she's entitled to it. And I understand.
She's not controlling me.
It's the wages of what had happened, and I can deal with it. I'm not upset about it. But the point is that at the same time, if you really,
I love more than anyone,
and you should,
and you're going to piss on them, and you did, and you lied to her, and you're emailing her, and you're telling her shit.
But that was
and I'm
all
like,
made
hey,
up.
you know what? It was all made up.
Yeah, I mean, we made up. That's what I don't
She's fine.
get.
She does. She just said, I don't trust Sal. I don't want him there.
And I respect that.
And I don't either. I don't trust you either.
What?
To be there.
You don't trust me.
No, of course
You see,
not.
to
Not
me-
after what you did.
You're a whack job.
In my personal opinion,
You're fucked up.
in my personal opinion, if I'm working with you, and like you said, you didn't fire me, and I appreciate that and all that other stuff, but like there's a sense of loyalty between us.
Right.
Why wouldn't you then say, hey, you know what? He does work with me, and there is some loyalty,
Because
and
I
we all
don't-
make mistakes, and you know what? I'm sure he's going to be fine.
I don't feel that way.
You don't feel that
I
way.
can't guarantee that you're going to be fine.
You don't
lie.
I don't lie. I
You
don't.
did. You didn't lie?
At that time, yeah.
Oh, at that time you lied, but now you don't.
Now he's not alive.
Well, who has?
What
he who
crystal
hasn't
ball-
lied cast the first fucking
what
stone.
crystal
We all
ball-
lie.
What crystal
Where's
ball-
your angelic wings?
What crystal ball should I look in to know that you're not going to lie the day of my wedding?
Howard, that would be ridiculous. I mean, that would
Oh.
be suicide. I might as well just go in there
Well,
with
I
a bunch
don't
of
know that
bombs.
you're capable. What you
Okay,
did was
and
suicide. You're writing her letters, telling her you're not doing something, then you're out there and behind her back doing it.
I did it right. I did
So
it.
then what am I supposed to do? You don't. She doesn't trust you. I don't trust
And that's-
you. And you're saying she's controlling me. I agree with her. I don't get controlled.
I don't know.
All right, I'm being controlled.
No,
Okay?
I'm just saying that.
This is a wedding between me and Beth.
And
Beth
that's
is
fine.
50% of this wedding.
Right, and
she's entitled to who she wants at that wedding, especially if somebody
Should she
lied
look
to her.
out and see some face that she doesn't want to see?
No.
All right.
Sal, here's.
But she should say, "Hey, this guy's my husband. He's my future husband.
Yeah.
He works with this guy Sal, and Sal, yeah, he crossed the line, but things have we've made amends,
she didn't
and out of
ask
respect,
that.
Sal,
she should make it easier on you.
Sal,
That's what I'm saying.
No.
She's putting the pressure on you indirectly.
I would never say that to her because you know what? I'd be the same fucking way.
I think subconsciously she's putting pressure on you.
Not at all.
Subconsciously?
Yeah.
Not subconsciously. Your name came up, and she said, "I don't want him at the wedding," and I said, "I understand why."
And I understand too, and I'm not upset about it.
And I said, "I don't want him at the wedding either."
And I'm not, but that's where I think you're wrong. I think
you think he's wrong? How can you be wrong? He can't be wrong about what he thinks.
How can I be wrong? This is how I feel. I feel you really fucked up, and you kind of made it so that I can't have you to my wedding or to my house or anything.
That's ridiculous.
Okay. Well,
it just doesn't make any sense. I mean,
doesn't make sense.
They accepted
you know how many
your
weddings?
apology once, Sal.
And it was fine, and we've moved on. Robbie,
No.
I gave
then
her
you fucked up again.
I didn't fuck up again. That's my point. We made up at your engagement party that you threw, Robin.
But you.
And then I saw her at Artie's
right. She's not
birthday
angry
party.
with you.
I know, and I'm not angry with her.
Trust you.
And I get it. That's fine. But I'm saying that.
All right. So then shut up.
What you're saying that there's people there? I guarantee you don't want there. I'm guaranteeing it, but you
think oh, I see. Okay, all right. Well,
every wedding has
you know
that.
more about my life.
No,
than
but
I
I'm
do.
saying every wedding has those pain in the asses that
there are lots of people who you have differences with, but you stepped over a line that I can't even begin to fucking talk about.
All right, and I'm willing to accept that.
You're busy. I didn't tell you to write my girlfriend. I didn't tell you to get. You're looking for fucking a way into my life.
No, I'm not.
That I'm not looking for. And then you finally got the way in. You're talking to her, and you're fucking lying to her face. Get the fuck out of here.
You keep throwing back
Get
the
outta
lie,
here.
but Howard, you keep that lie.
Sal, you're
I
not
know what I
invited.
did. I'm willing
Sal,
to
that's
take
that's
responsibility.
it.
I know, but Howard, I'm willing to take responsibility for my actions. My point is that
The victim has the right to forgive to what extent they want to forgive.
and I get it.
So that's it.
But
You've
when
gotten
I'm
forgiveness, but it only goes so far.
all right, I'm just remembering a guy who put his foot down, and no matter what he says,
Well,
he
I'm
says
not-
that was you.
That's not
and
me. That's not
okay.
me.
That's not you anymore.
That's right.
And I could deal with that. But I'm saying that just be
I
careful.
never put my foot down with my ex-wife. I never put my foot. I had a relationship with them. I sit and we talk about things. This is the person I spend the majority of my time with, the person I'm in love with. And you'd think I'm going to fucking stick up for your actions? I can't defend your actions. If I felt your actions were defendable, I would be the first one to go to bat for you. But they aren't defendable. I'd be an asshole to defend your actions.
All right. I'm personally between.
All right, I'm going to put my foot down. How's this? You ready? You ready, pal? I love her, and I want her to be happy, so I don't want you at my fucking wedding. There, I put my foot down with you.
Okay,
All
and
right?
you have, and I've
you go.
accepted that.
Thank you.
But I'm saying out of respect to you, she should say like, okay, this
I
guy
don't
works
want
with
you
him.
there.
Okay, I don't believe
Why
it.
is that?
Why doesn't he believe you don't
Because
want him there? Do you love him so much? Are you?
I don't
are
know.
you having secret conversations
No.
with him that we don't know about?
I hardly talk to the guy.
notes that are misspelled?
No, I don't believe it because we do have a good working relationship.
This isn't
and
about
I
that.
think, like I said, and I hate to use this word again, I think subconsciously she's pulling in the reins. She's got you fucking baited up, my man. She's already
Good.
She's already
I love it.
She's already got you. She's already got you biting your lip, saying, "You know what? I don't want to deal with this aggravation and
I
bullshit."
don't want you at my wedding. I don't know why.
You don't want me at the wedding because you don't want to piss her off.
No, I don't.
And
want
that's
you
what
at the
every
wedding
husband
because
does.
You pissed me off.
Okay, and I
Sal, I'm gonna
apologize.
repeat that. I'm going to repeat it again so you get it through your thick head.
I know I pissed you.
You
off.
pissed me off.
Okay,
that's why I don't want you at my wedding.
Hey, Howard.
Okay, I'll have to accept that, but deep down inside, to be honest,
All
I
right.
don't.
Well, you get through the day any way you
completely
have to.
believe it, and I'm happy for both of you.
So, does it hurt your feelings, man, that you can't go to his wedding?
No, I'm just trying to let him know that, you know.
Are you speaking from experience? Well, obviously, right?
Of course, he's already given in.
So you see a little bit of.
He's already given in. That's my point.
And then what's next after this? You know, he's already giving in to something like that.
6 months later, it just
What's-
stopped working completely.
What's after this? What do you think's after this? Aggravation, regret. Why did I do it? And then phone call to probably Dominic Barbara, and back in single life.
Do you have advice for Howard?
No.
Yeah, don't do it.
Right. Nah, it'll be fine. I'm happy for both of them.
What are you going to do the day of the wedding?
You, bend over. What am I going to do? I don't know. I'm going to go fish with my kids. I don't know what I'll do. I have no idea. I don't even know when the wedding day is, so what are you going to do? What can I tell you? That's the way it is. It's just that, if he goes out there, jeez. I mean, if Howard goes out there and sees, Howard knows what marriage is all about. And the reason why I'm not going to this wedding is, again, he's just like, he's biting his lips saying, you know what, I don't want to deal with this aggravation, this bullshit. Let me just not, make her happy. Give me a break. It's a bunch of horse shit. That's my opinion. I understand why I'm not going to the wedding, but marriage is a compromise between two people. And I think he's thrown in the towel.
But so you're talking like Howard would want you there.
Of course he does.
You really think so?
Yeah, why wouldn't he? We get along. I've been to all the other events. I've been to his birthday parties. I've been to the engagement party. I've been to Artie's birthday party where Howard was at. I've been to Howard's surprise party. Everything's fine. The wedding, where it's Beth's day, which I understand, I'm not invited. Which leads me to believe that he's saying, hey, you know what? I don't want to deal with this garbage. All right, fine. It's easier to get rid of me and just submit himself to her request than to say, hey, this is a guy that I really would like at my wedding because we work together and, we get along. We have a good friendship. So, and I don't blame him because you can't put a price on peace of mind. And that's sometimes the price of peace of mind, just to shut up and say, all right, whatever. That's what marriage is all about. You just start agreeing. Because if you don't agree, you end up on the front cover of a fucking newspaper with a murder-suicide story. And that's it.
You don't even seem to understand the show. You just ruin everything. You got to be funny in here. I can't wait for you guys to see this on Howard TV.
Daily shows, classics, and exclusive behind-the-scenes access.
Well, that's going to be on Howard TV.
The funniest, sexiest, most star-studded network on TV is Howard TV On Demand.
Hey Stern fans, welcome to Fine Time, the show where you, the fans, get the opportunity to ask questions and interact with your favorite Stern Show staffers, whack packers, and celebrity superfans. I'm your host, Rachel Fine. Now, my guest today is one of the hardest working executive producers in the history of radio. He's very well read and continuously improving his education. He is a proud former Marine who served our country in the first Gulf War, and he has run for city council. He is often a target of Ned's song parodies, and he was once arrested for a live on-air stunt in which a pig was slaughtered. He has a history in Muay Thai, meaning that he trained for a couple months and then did his first fight in which he was TKO'd in 39 seconds. Howard once called him one of the best in the business. Please welcome from Bubba the Love Sponge Show, Brent Hatley. Thanks for joining us, Brent.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Outstanding. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. It's an honor to be on your show. You guys do a great job.
Thank you. I'm so happy to have you here. We had lots of questions come in, and I'm excited to ask.
Sure.
Fantastic. First one comes from @Kovac8. @Kovac8 asks, who are you endorsing for president of the U.S. and why?
That's easy. Ron Paul. I've been a long-time Ron Paul supporter because he's the only one that is truly anti-war. Because you don't really understand how brutal war is until you go. Yeah. Ron Paul was a surgeon during Vietnam, and I think he understands why he's anti-war and why he's not for interfering in other countries' business, number one. Number two, he wants to legalize marijuana. So what else do you want from a presidential candidate? I don't understand how he's not winning, but that's my endorsement is Ron Paul.
Excellent. Next question comes from @Cindy23. Cindy asks, has there ever been a moment on the show where you said to yourself, okay, we really screwed up this time and we will be in a lot of trouble?
Yes. I think I kind of got that feeling the day when you talk about the hog incident. I kind of got the feeling that day. Matter of fact, I was the one that was outside. I was on the cell phone reporting it. And I didn't really, while I was in the moment, get that feeling, but afterwards, like, because we were in a big building with salespeople and human resources and like corporate America, and the reaction of some of the people in the building, I was like, this is going to be trouble. I didn't know it was going to be as much trouble, but I thought it was going to be some trouble.
You felt it coming.
Yeah.
Do you regret it now, looking back?
Of course, yeah. I don't think we should ever do that again. But on the brighter side, we were acquitted, and our show has not been number one since we did that. So it had some good upside to it as well, but we just wouldn't do it again.
Gotcha. Next question comes from Martin W. Martin asks, have you ever considered a serious political run?
Yes, I just ran for city council in the city of St. Petersburg in District 3, which is where I live. And in 3 years, I'm going to run again. And this first time was really, I knew I wasn't going to win. I was running against a longtime incumbent, but he's termed out, and it'll be an open seat in the next term. But I needed to run this last time just to get the feel of how the political process works. And I did learn. I learned a lot about how the political process works and how to get elected. So I think I will succeed when it's an open seat.
And will you be running on the legalized marijuana ticket?
Well, see, that's not in the purview of city council. If it was in the purview of city council, yeah, that would be my position. But my position right now is we have red light cameras in St. Pete, and you get a ticket before you get a chance to even argue your case in front of a judge, and you don't get your Sixth Amendment right to cross-examine your accuser because it's a camera. So my thing would be getting rid of red light cameras. I think that's a step towards European socialism when you start putting cameras on every corner. So my big thing would be more freedom for everybody and no dogs chained up in the yard.
I love it.
That's one of the ordinances I would make is you cannot chain your dog to a tree in Florida outside and just leave it in the yard.
I think the people need to vote for him. This is an excellent platform. Next question is from Angelo Valences. He asks, what is the most bizarre setup you ever had to prepare for regarding an on-air bit?
It'd have to be the rat milkshake.
He's holding the rat by the tail and it's circling over the blender. This is a dead rat. This is as dead as it gets.
I swear to God.
This is bona fide, man.
I swear to God.
That is the nastiest rat I've ever seen.
I swear to God, I am going to puke. Now, they're going to blend it. I will puke. I swear to God, I'll puke.
I had to go out. There's actually a place in Florida, believe it or not, called the Rat Farm. And I had to go see this redneck named Buzzy.
Awesome.
And what he would do is he gave me, they farm so many rats, a certain amount of them just died just because. So he'd give me the rats that had just died of natural causes, and I'd have to go pick up the rats from the rat farm to come back to be able to do rat milkshakes on the air. So that's the most bizarre by far.
Yeah.
Amongst many bizarre things that we've done. That was the most bizarre for sure.
That sounds like it. Next question is from Eric P. Eric asks, are you still into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
I love it. I would love to do it. I'm out of time. We do 2 shows a day. Plus I do a sports show every other week. And then every Friday I do a talk show on serial killers. So I'm really, really busy, and I wish I could train more. I may take some private lessons. Rob Kahn was talking to me about coming down and doing some private lessons a couple times a week.
Right now, for those of you listening, Hoyce has Brent in a back triangle, and he's squeezing the life out of Brent.
But I still love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's great exercise. It's a great lifestyle. It's a healthy lifestyle. That's what I like about it the most.
Yeah. Alex from Hamburg asks, would you consider Bubba a close friend, and do you hang out in private?
Yes, he is a close friend. Since he bought his racetrack, I haven't been able to hang out with him much because it's a business, that racetrack. It's a good business because it's a good, for what they pay for their entertainment dollar, they get a lot for it. But Bubba physically has to be there to run the races, so I don't see him as much as I used to. But if the racetrack makes him happy, which it really, really does, you can see that he's much happier now owning a racetrack. I think that
At Dave Lampert28 asks, what is the worst thing you have ever done to piss Bubba off, and how did he react?
It's going to sound lame, but it was kind of big at the time, is we were in Jacksonville one time to do a broadcast, and this was before the days of GPS. It was in 2002, so we really didn't have GPS. So I had MapQuested from the hotel to the radio studio that we had never been to, but we got all kinds of lost, and we walked into the door to the radio station at 6 a.m. So Bubba freaked out. I mean, he was really, really, that's the maddest I've ever seen him. Because you know that feeling of being lost is bad anyway.
It's awful.
And being lost and knowing that you have a show to do and no time to do any prep, he was furious about that. So that was the worst. But now we got GPS, so we don't get lost anymore.
Excellent. Next question is from Perry R. Perry asks, who is better on the radio, Howard or Bubba, and what does each bring to the table?
I think that's not, for me, the way I listen to radio, that's not really fair to compare, because they both do different things. I mean, it's all relative. Like asking somebody who's your favorite band. I like different bands for different reasons, and I like them both for different reasons. Howard is, these days, a lot more calm and paced and very deliberate. When I first started listening to Howard in the early 90s, he was all kinds of pissed off. And that's when I really became a fan of Howard, because he would just bring people in machine gun and just mow them down. Bubba, I like on the air because you never quite know. Like sitting in the chair producing the show for the full 4 hours. Honestly, my stomach is in knots because I just don't know what he's gonna do. And that's the thing about Bubba, is you just don't know where he's gonna go with something. And they're just different like that. Howard's very deliberate, and he kind of knows where he's going to go with things, and Bubba's like a bull in a china shop. So they're different, and you can't really say one's better than the other. It's all relative, and I've got a lot of respect for Phil Hendry too. I mean, I'm a huge fan of his, but they all three do different things, and I think that just like music, you've got to appreciate each air personality for what they do.
Absolutely. Next question comes from @Zuba. Zuba asks, if you had the chance to take over producing Howard's show, would you leave Bubba?
That's a tough question. It really is, because I got a lot of respect for Gary. Gary's a good friend of mine. I love Gary. I really do. And everybody that works at Howard's show does a great job, and they've all been fantastic, just great to me. That would, it would be tough for me to live in New York City. It would. We have a lot of room here in Florida, and Bubba kind of leaves me to be a little bit more autonomous. So I don't know. It would depend. Bubba's been good to me, so it'd be hard to leave Bubba after he's been so loyal to me after all these years. But Howard's also been great to me as well. So I would do it if Bubba didn't have a show anymore.
Fair enough. And Gary was not working there.
Yeah, I would never take Gary's job. I'd never step on Gary's toes. Gary's a great guy. He really is. People give Gary a hard time, and I know it's fun to goof on Gary, but Gary, deep down, is awesome. I love Gary.
Awesome. I want to thank Fred for taking the time to answer the questions that you, the fans, submitted. Keep sending your questions in. You can tweet them, you can Facebook them, you can email them, you can even send a video submission. Remember, this is your show, so don't screw it up. Until next time, I'm Rachel Fine, and I hope you had a fine time. I had a fine time with you, sir.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. It's enlightening.
Hey now. You don't even seem to understand the show. You just ruin everything. You gotta be funny in here. I can't wait for you guys to see this on Howard TV.
Daily shows, classics, and exclusive behind-the-scenes access.
Well, that's gonna be on Howard TV.
The funniest, sexiest, most star-studded network on TV is Howard TV On Demand.
Good morning, Richie.
Morning.
Welcome back.
Hey, great to be back, man. It's been a long time, baby.
Yeah, it's been a number of years, I think.
But yeah, man,
sir.
too long.
Morning, guys. You just gonna go right in there?
Hey, man.
How are you?
How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you, man. How's everything?
Good.
And then years later, after
What's cooking?
Looking forward to this, Richie. Looking forward to talking.
Absolutely, man.
You've had a busy last few years. You got a lot to talk about, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Be a lot of fun.
All right, man. We'll let you get settled.
All good, buddy.
Richie Sambora, you know him from Bon Jovi, of course. I always thought that was weird that John's name got to be the band anyway. It could have just as easily been Sambora. Sambora's a good name for a band.
Yeah, you know what happened? When we were kids, it's like we really tried to find a name.
Right.
A different name.
Right.
And we couldn't. And
Yeah.
John, I mean, we really tried for like months, man, and they all sucked.
Did anyone ever say Sambora?
No. No, they didn't, man. But hey, you know, Howard?
Yeah. By the
I
way,
was
you
gonna
look
ask
very.
you.
You look
know what
very
the great
handsome.
thing of the great thing about making a solo record?
Yes.
You can actually name the band anything you want.
And what did you name?
So
the
I
band?
got. We're just kind of rolling with a few names here.
Sambora.
The first name was the Disgusting Rabbis.
Oh, I love that.
I want you to help. You
love
got any
that.
ideas?
That's it. Disgusting Rabbis is
That's
an unbelievable name.
How about what's the other one here? We have Satan Castro and the Exiles.
I like that one.
No, I don't like. How about
Satan Castro and the Exiles? What are you talking about?
Bon Jovi?
How about the Katy Perry Dancers?
Oh, that's funny.
Richie Sambora and the Katy Perry Dancers.
I like that.
What else we got? We got the Fine Coxmen.
Oh, that's a good one too. You know what? You're not bad with these names.
We got. Let's see.
So choose one now, so I can know what to call.
I don't
the
know.
band.
What do you think?
What else you got?
How about Dick and the Cocktails?
No, I don't like
No?
that. That's right. How about I fucked Denise Richards? My man.
Steady.
Are you done with her?
Wait a minute.
Are you? I got a million questions for you.
All right, no problem. That's cool.
Go ahead.
No problem, but he'd like
I don't
to
hear
get onto
Howard enough
another
in my
topic.
cans. Can you turn them up? And Robin too, please.
Give him a little juice, Scott.
Yeah, I
what do
need
you
more
think?
juice. You know what I'm saying?
They're doing it back because you just stare at Richie like nothing's happening.
Are they listening back there, Scott?
So Richie, is it true you still take guitar lessons and vocal lessons?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
That's an amazing dedication because I happen to think you're one of the best guitar players. You really are a tremendous guitar, and I think you're underrated. Are you not?
You know, I'm not sure. In some places I am, and in some places I'm not. You know.
When they
Does he make those lists?
Yeah, when they make lists of some of the greatest guitar players of all time, they leave you off the list. And yet, I've seen you play, and I know the music. Why are you left off of those lists?
You know, I think it's a part of, in Bon Jovi, I don't get a chance to actually work out a lot.
Right.
So in essence, when you make a solo record like this,
right,
man, I got to tell you something. I want you to listen to the record because I think you're really going to like it. I get to wind out a lot more. You know what I felt in rock music? There's not a lot of jamming going on.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I got a bunch of great musicians with me.
Yeah,
and I don't have my
introduce these
electric
guys.
here today, but
right.
On the record, you'll find a lot of great songs, and me, I get to be a vocalist again, which is always cool.
You started out as a vocalist.
Yeah, I was
Every band you were ever in, you were a vocalist.
I was a lead singer, yeah.
And then when you hooked up with Bon Jovi, which I don't even remember how the hell you met John and all that, but we'll go into that. But when you hooked up with him, suddenly you're not the lead singer. And is that a blow to you? Is that a blow to your ego, or do you because you can get lost back there, right?
Nah, not at all. The thing with me is I was always a working musician,
Right.
and I never took it for granted. And I was trying to get a leg up in this business any way I could.
Right.
So,
what convinced
if
you,
I'm just
though-
going to be like a primary songwriter and the guitar player in a great band, hey, man, if I'm going to make it that way, that's going to be a good deal. And obviously it paid off in spades.
But what convinced you? How old were you when you made the decision, okay, I'll let this guy be the lead singer?
Oh, yeah. When I first got in the band, I was 23.
23?
Yeah, 23.
Up until then, you had been in other bands, and you were the guy, you were the front man.
Yeah.
So why did you make the decision all of a sudden to hook up with John and let him be the front man?
Well, like I said, I was just joining bands upon bands upon bands. Actually, when I met John, I had already had 2 record deals.
Right.
I was on Led Zeppelin's label Swan Song.
Right.
In a failed record deal there. And then I was on Capricorn Records with a guy by the name of Duke Williams and the Extremes.
Was that a solo deal, or you had, in other words, you had a whole band that?
Yeah, there was a band, and I was an extreme in that band, so I wasn't the front man in that band particularly. Right. But all the other club bands I was in and all that stuff, you know what I mean?
When you were a young guy in Swan Song, which was Led Zeppelin's label, and I remember that label. It was the coolest label ever. It even looked cool.
Oh yeah.
When they sign you, do you think that's it? I am now going to make it. I am going to be famous.
Absolutely.
And then when it doesn't happen, is that the biggest blow in the world to your head?
Absolutely. But you got to keep on going. It's like I made 3 records before I started my own independent label before I met John.
Did you graduate high school?
Yes, I did.
You did? Did you go
I was
to
in
college?
college, yeah. I went through 2 years of college.
Where'd you go to college?
Keene College.
And when you were in Keene College, you knew you wanted to be a musician?
Oh, I knew I wanted to be a musician all along.
Did your parents tell you, don't do this? This
No,
is a
you know,
mistake?
they were very supportive.
And you were a guy who sat in his room and practiced guitar every day?
Yeah, you know, I'm a self-taught guy.
I didn't know
So the
that.
only way you can teach yourself a guitar is actually to bump into your own mistakes.
How do you teach yourself the guitar? I mean, do you listen to records and play along with them?
Exactly.
And you became,
emulate your heroes.
Do you think that you're a genius in that you taught yourself how to play guitar? I mean, to me, that would seem impossible to get to the level you're at to do that yourself.
You know, I always had an ear for music, and I kind of learned backwards because I kind of could play by ear.
Yeah.
And then I kind of went to theory classes and stuff like that, and actually learned the musical end of it.
Were you popular in high school? I would imagine you were.
Yeah, I was.
Were
I
you
was
an
a
athlete?
jock, and I was in bands, and
Oh,
I
no
was
kidding.
going to different towns.
You were? What were you? A football player?
No, I was a basketball player, baseball player. I played a little football, but I was getting my hand caught between helmets and ribs broken, and hell with that shit.
And when a guy's as good looking as you, you're popular, and you play guitar, you getting laid at 12? Or I mean,
I got to tell you, man, it was pretty good, man.
It was,
Women
right?
like musicians, let's face it.
Were you getting laid at a very young age?
Not really.
16, 17?
17, yeah.
17
That's
years
pretty
old.
young, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I bet you nailed a teacher or two, didn't you? Did you ever nail a teacher?
No,
did.
I didn't.
You didn't?
Didn't have a teacher.
What's wrong
But
with you?
I had friends that had some teachers.
Right.
Really?
And so you go to high school, and by high school, you're hooking up in bands, and you were signed to Swan Song by the time you were what age?
I was like 19 and a half. I guess.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I was playing, you know what? I was playing in New York, 4 or 5 times a week. I was doing Great Gildersleeves, CBGBs, privates, places like that were really happening in the city, you know?
In a way, you were blessed. I mean, most guys struggle a little more than even what you're talking about. I mean, the fact that you got signed so young to a label.
Yeah, but you know what? The record never came out, man. Zeppelin blew up. And that whole label, just took a shit, basically.
And the record that you produced with Swan Song never came
out, yeah.
That had to break your heart.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I thought, here we go. We're going to the big time. Here it is, Do
you have that record somewhere? Do you have it?
It's somewhere, yeah. Actually, after I made it with Bon Jovi, my lead singer, was going through a bit of a hard time. He said, can I release it? And he needed the bread, so I just relinquished everything to him, and he just took the money.
Oh, that was nice.
Wow, what the hell,
And you felt, hey, now that I'm in Bon Jovi, it's okay to release that? Weren't you nervous that people would compare that record to Bon Jovi?
I was a kid, man.
You didn't care?
I didn't care at all.
So if you were having a lot of successes before Bon Jovi, what made you join up with John? Did you think that he was an extraordinary singer and he could do a better job singing than you could?
Well, no. You know what? I went to see him play at a club called the Fountain Casino. Remember that place?
No.
Right. It was right up the
I
street
was
from the
sequestered.
Club Benet where you used to play.
Right.
Where I used to come see you play.
Right. No. Yeah. You used to play with me.
Yeah. You
right.
called me up a bunch of times. But, and I went and I saw him. And my bass player, Alec John Such, was actually playing with me at the time, and he was moonlighting with Johnny.
Right.
Because I got asked to join KISS, and I flew out to L.A.
You did?
Yeah.
Wait a second. When did that happen?
83.
83. This is before Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Those guys had heard your solo stuff.
I guess somebody, hipped them to me, and they were interested in having me come out, so I went to California for the first time.
Yeah.
And I ended up staying out there for 2 weeks and having a blast.
Wait a second. So how old are you at that point?
At that point, I'm about 22.
22 years old. KISS calls you. Was KISS already successful?
Oh, big time.
Big time. And so they
Yeah,
needed...
I was going to replace Ace when they were looking for a guy.
And so did you get into the makeup and...
No. No. You know what? Honestly, I respect KISS a lot, but my music was more into a more blues-orientated kind of thing, more organic. I was into, like, Zeppelin and Hendrix and, guys that played guitar and actually emoted through the instrument.
So when they called you and said, join the band, were you open to it, or did you already...
Like I said, I was searching to get a leg up, and I was in, like, 5 bands at the same time.
But how could you turn down KISS? Here's a band that's making a ton of money. You hadn't really broken through. I imagine you didn't have a lot of money at that point.
Oh, definitely not.
When you turned down KISS?
Well, basically, I walked into the audition, and they were looking for a guy to, like, worship them.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
That's Gene.
I just wasn't that guy, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So I'm
So you
like,
didn't get
come on,
offered
let's
the
jam,
part.
let's do something. And they want to do like, you better know Black Diamond. I go, I don't know. You know what I mean? I was like, can we just play so you guys can get a sense of what I'm doing? Because I'm sure I can play your music. You know?
Right. And so did you...
They got upset.
You're kidding.
Yeah, they got a little upset.
That seems very professional to me to say, let's see if we can bond here. Let's see if
Yeah,
we
they
can...
got a little upset, but it was really funny because, like, fast forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Our first tour in Europe, we opened up for Kiss.
Yeah.
And we laughed about it a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
So you went there for 2 weeks. Gene, I guess, is the big ego. Who you're not sucking his balls enough. You're just being You're being Richie.
No, they were both pretty cool to me, but I think they were like taken aback that I wasn't like so into them. Like I was just like.
But to think about that in your life, let's say Bon Jovi had never worked out, you would have been kicking yourself in the head the rest of your life because joining Kiss would have made you a multimillionaire. I mean, what you are now, and it all worked out. But it does take a lot of balls to turn down a band like Kiss and not sit there and suck their ass a little bit and get in the band
You know what,
and
Howard?
make a fortune.
It didn't seem authentic to me for some reason.
That's beautiful.
But it's true, though. I swear to God,
love
it
that
just
about
didn't seem
you.
authentic to me, man. I was like, as an artist, I was moving in a different direction already.
Yeah, wouldn't it
at
have
that point in
killed
time,
you to play music that you really didn't care about?
All the guys in your band right now are looking at you like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Of
They
course
would
you
have
do.
taken the Kiss job.
They take the Kiss job in 2 seconds. Like, man, you must be fucking maniac or something.
Let me at those balls.
So when you go out it was on Kiss's dime, you go out there for 2 weeks?
Well, you know what happened? I was actually, I used to be jamming with Sylvester Stallone's brother, Frank.
Oh, my.
Sylvester Stallone's brother.
No kidding.
Frank. I used to like play with him so I was actually staying
at Frank's?
I was like at Sly's house actually.
Wow.
And he wasn't there.
Right.
He might not
Perfect.
even know that, so he's going to kick my ass when he hears about this.
So do you tell girls, hey, this is my place, why don't you come
Yeah,
on
right.
over?
I took his pictures down and put mine up.
And so you went out.
But yeah, no, I was having a good time with some California girls out there, and I picked up a couple sessions.
Right.
So I decided to stay out there for a couple weeks.
Right. When you say you picked up a couple of sessions, you mean you were a session musician. You would go out there and people would pay you to sit in with a band or whatever.
Yeah. Guys I knew, kind of hooked me up with some people, and I was lucky enough to stay out there, make a little bit of money so I could actually stay out there and get home.
So when did you start taking guitar lessons? When you were in Bon Jovi?
No, I was. My first guitar lesson was actually I was 52 years old.
No kidding. And who can really teach you? I mean, there's a teacher say to you, "Look, Richie, what can I really teach you?"
You're holding your hands the wrong way.
No, check this out. I walked
why would they fuck with what you do?
I walked into this my favorite vintage guitar car shop in California, and this guy was playing with his back towards me, and he's playing acoustic guitar, but he sounds like two guys.
What was he playing? Tell me what he was playing at that point.
Just some piece,
Okay.
this acoustic piece.
Right.
But he sounded like two guys playing at the same time.
Right.
So I kind of walked around in front of him. I said, "What are you doing, man?
Yeah.
You got to teach me how to do this. This is like sick." I said, "I'll be back in 18 months. I'm going on tour, but when I come back, I'd love you to teach me." So he gave me his number. He happened to be a cat by the name of Lawrence Juber, who used to be in McCartney and Wings.
Right.
But he was also now the acoustic guitar player of the year.
Right.
And he was working with all these different alternative tunings. So I started to work on him with those. So, now there's always more you could learn. That's the great thing about music.
He wasn't opposed to teaching you and giving you his secrets, so to speak?
No, not at all. Because I think it was more of a give and take. I also was teaching him a little bit.
Right.
And he was teaching me.
When
But
you say
honestly,
guitar
it
lesson,
was
though-
something that was alien to me and I never did before.
But when you say guitar lesson, you have to pay him to teach you, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So what does the
How
guy
much does
charge
he
Richie
charge?
Sambora for a guitar lesson? I mean,
Howard,
if I
don't
see
even,
you,
I don't even look. So it doesn't matter. I'm like this. Sign a
I'd be
check.
like, Mr. Sambora, that'll be $50,000 for
Yeah,
your
no.
lesson.
It ain't like that,
Right.
He's a good guy.
So when you got into Bon Jovi, suddenly it's a new world for you. You're not the front man. You're not the lead singer. So now that you have an album out where you're singing lead, it feels good to you, right? You can show people what you can do.
It's it's a whole different energy. I give good band,
right?
And I always was a team player.
Is
and I
this
like
a
to
band?
do
What
that.
I'm looking at? Are these guys in your band?
Yeah,
or
these
is
guys
this
are the guys I made the record and in my band. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. So in other words, this is not something where you just hired some musicians for the day where they're going to play with you.
No, the excellent thing about this record, it happened so organically, and from the writing process up, and when we took it in the studio, we sounded like a band immediately.
Right.
And we just started to roll. And that's why I left all the jamming pieces on this record. You know, because, I mean, now people can get a chance to hear. I mean, like, you know, when we were kids, we were growing up with Zeppelin and Hendrix, and they were jamming on records.
Right.
So people would get to hear me play extended guitar solos.
Did you go to John and say, I'm doing a solo album, and did you say to the rest of the Bon Jovi band, look, I'm going to go do this thing? Do you have to get permission in a sense?
No, you just got to tell them, you know. We've always been supportive of our individual endeavors, you know.
What is going on with Bon Jovi? Are they together?
Dude. I've been a busy boy this year. Check this out.
Right.
At the end of this record, I started writing with John for the new Bon Jovi record. The new Bon Jovi record's done.
Oh, it's all finished.
It's all finished because now I'm going on tour for the next 3 months.
With Bon Jovi?
No, with this band.
Record.
Yeah, Richie Sambora Band.
And so
and the Disgusting Rabbis.
When you, I love that name, by the way. When you
Cock and the Doodle Doos, man.
Is it hard for you to go on tour now with a new band because you're not playing to stadiums, you're not playing to bigger crowds like that? You have to play to guys, you know, you're starting out in a sense, right?
Stuff, yeah. No, you know, I'm playing great theaters, man.
You are.
All over the world. We put the shows on sale, actually before the record came out in Europe.
Right.
And the tour sold out the first day in pre-sale.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but it's not a stadium setup like when you play Bon Jovi.
No, we're just playing cool theaters.
But you enjoy that.
Absolutely.
No, that's great.
You know, I mean, I don't take anything for granted. I mean, obviously, every time you walk out in front of a stadium stage,
yeah,
I mean, it blows your mind. I don't care no matter how many times you do it. If you take it for granted, you'd be an asshole. Let's face it.
Do you think you are blessed? I mean, like live a charmed life. I mean, starting from high school, being an athlete, being able to play guitar, teaching yourself how to play guitar at a young age, getting into a super mega hit band like Bon Jovi.
Absolutely,
it's a blessed life,
and then
right?
all the women.
And then I mean, my God.
Oh, you know, I mean, it's funny. You go, you know, I'm a kid from Woodbridge, New Jersey.
Right.
And yesterday I went to see the Giants. I took the guys to see the Giants, and we walk in Giant Stadium, and I'm looking around. I'm going, man, I sold this mofo out like 4 times.
Right. It still blows your mind.
It's
right?
heavy, you know. It's heavy, you know. It's like guys like us, like me and you. You know, we actually did it.
Right. It's pretty amazing when you've accomplished that. You sometimes you pinch yourself because you know how many musicians who are great, like that guy from Wings who's teaching you, who haven't been able to break through and make it in the business.
There's that it factor.
And isn't it almost defeating to put out an album now because of the way the music business is? It's almost impossible to sell records because all music is exchanged for free almost. You're not going to make a lot of money with this record.
Oh, absolutely not. It's not. I didn't do this for the money, you know. I mean, as an artist, you got to keep fresh. You got to do these things. So basically, it's like you excavate inside and bring out all this stuff. And this record is about a lot of my life experience.
And how do you decide which song's going to go on a Bon Jovi album, which is going to be a solo?
Oh, you know what? There's not even any choice. When I write a record for myself, I'm the mouthpiece. I'll write a different lyric than John's ever going to sing.
Is it nice to be able to write a song on your own without John's interference? I mean, I'm sure...
Is that what you call it?
What is the process when you and John write a song?
It's very, very simple. We sit down with an acoustic guitar and a piano and our 2 voices. We have a conversation about how we're feeling. You know, there's a big commonality between John and I. We grew up.
Do you like each other?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Be honest.
I'm being honest.
I feel you don't. I feel like when I'm going to be honest with you, Richie.
No,
I've known you guys
Howard,
for a while.
We really do. It's an anomaly, really.
It is.
We get along. We've always got along. You know, there was a little wonky period in the beginning of the 90s because we were, you know, everybody experiences fame and fortune at different speeds.
Yes.
And, you know, you add a little bit of lifestyle in there.
Right.
Which I was working pretty good, you know.
Right.
It gets confused, and then, you know, we had to kind of put Humpty Dumpty back together.
What do you specifically mean? What happened? Was it because you got into trouble with drinking and stuff? And some of your new album deals with what some of your problems were, right? Like you don't make a secret about it.
Oh no, you know, I think I set out to make an authentic record,
right?
You know, because I believe there's this stigma, obviously, that, you know, people go rock star, Bon Jovi. They're going to think Richie's, you know, that kind of person.
Right.
And that's show business, man.
Yeah.
You know, this record was an artistic record where I decided, you know, it's like when you did your movie.
Yes.
You know, you put all your stuff out there.
Right.
To people, man. And it felt good to you, right?
Yes.
And you know what? Now, with my record, that's exactly what I'm doing.
I mean, you wouldn't be the first rock star to have a problem with booze. I mean, everybody seems to go through some sort of drug-related thing, except for John, right?
You know, yeah. You know what? It's funny because I started out playing clubs when I was like 16 and a half.
Right.
And back then, it wasn't frowned upon.
What, to drink? No, it was encouraged.
Yeah, it was like an accoutrement to my business.
Right.
You know what I mean? So then all of a sudden, but I'll tell you what, it took me about 35 years for my demons to catch up with me.
Yeah,
so I'm a
because
pretty resilient little bastard.
I never saw you as a guy who drank a lot and stuff, so you probably drank in private, right?
You know what? After a while, what happened was, I was definitely a kind of a guy that always drank in my house. Never drank. I didn't even drink in restaurants anymore.
Wow.
Or I didn't drink around the band or anywhere near a performance.
That's when you know you have a problem, when you're drinking by yourself, right? When it's
I
not
guess
a social
so.
thing.
I guess so.
What were you drinking? Wine?
Yeah, I was drinking wine, and you know what? It was predominantly a stress reliever.
Right, absolutely.
I was using it for a specific, different reason.
So when did you realize you had a problem? You had to go into rehab. When did you realize that?
It was about 5 years ago.
You said, hey, I'm doing this too much, and I'm doing it every night.
Yeah, when I started getting clean, it was about 5 years ago. But I was doing it every night for about 30 years. So
Did you have interventions? Did anybody, did the group get together and say, look, Richie?
Yeah, a lot of people kind of said, hey, man, But also what happened, I had broken my arm.
Right.
And I was doing painkillers because, check this out. So I break my arm in my house. I get
Drinking.
divorced. Right?
You got from Heather.
I got divorced from Heather.
Right.
Right? So I come home from one leg of the tour. I get into this new house. I've never been there before. My sister-in-law thinks she's doing me a solid. She puts this shitty Bed Bath & Beyond mat in the bathroom.
Right.
I wake up to take a piss one morning, and I just went, biffed. And my shoulder went right into the jacuzzi, and I broke my arm in 3 places.
Oh, my God.
2 weeks later, I have to play like 24 stadiums.
With a broken arm?
With a broken arm.
Wow.
So I hired all these sports stocks, therapists, this, that, and the other thing. I said, there was $145 million on the table for this tour.
Right.
I said I wasn't going to leave it out there. Whatever I had to do, I was going to do it. So the painkillers got in there, too.
Now, are you wearing a cast while you're...
You can. It's a shoulder.
Oh, it's a shoulder, right. You can't really do
Can't wear
anything
a
to
cast.
that. So these guys teach you how to sort of hold the guitar so you don't completely
Well, you know
screw
what?
up.
I started going crazy. I started making these little guitars.
Right.
Because I didn't have this kind of lateral motion. But so one of my heroes was Albert Collins, a blues guy.
Right.
And he would hang his guitar off of this shoulder, and I found that I could play like this.
Oh, wow.
So, you know what? I was 95%. Nobody ever knew it, really.
And so and to get through the pain, you start taking what, like Oxycontin?
Yeah, I took a lot of shit just to get through that tour, and it lasted about 6 months. And I was drinking because of the pain and getting through it profusely.
And when you mix the drinking with the Oxycontin, that's a fucking powerful cocktail.
Very powerful
Nothing
cocktail.
better than that.
Oh, and you know what? If you ask me if I remember those months, I would say absolutely not. But,
Wow.
But you know what? I was a hero, got through the tour, and just like, all the other substance in my life, I figured this one would just fall off.
Right.
No such luck.
Yeah,
I was very, very naive to it,
Were you like, hey, this Oxycontin is more addictive than anything ever?
Anything.
Like, in other words, you said, hey, now I'm done with the pain. I'll stop the Oxycontin. And then when you go to stop, it actually hurts.
Shaking like a leaf, man.
Wow.
And I'm an asshole. I think I got like Parkinson's.
It's never the stuff, right?
Couldn't be withdrawal.
You know what I mean?
Right. So
I'm
now,
all freaking out. I don't know what's going on.
So now do you have to go score Oxycontin? Because now you can no longer
Are
get
you
it?
doctor shopping?
No.
All right.
You know what I did? I just detoxed. I went in, I checked in, and I just detoxed for like 7 days. I went right back on the road.
Is it almost impossible to do it on your own? Because Oxycontin, they say, is like hillbilly heroin. It's the most powerful.
Well, I think you could do it, but you got to do it under the supervision because guys like our age can have a stroke.
Right.
If you just cut it off.
Was Limbaugh in detox with you?
He was right next door climbing the walls, yeah.
I heard a rumor that Lindsay Lohan was in rehab with you at one point. Did you bang her in rehab? Or no interest?
No. She was hot, man.
Oh, yeah?
She was hot.
She was hot.
Yeah,
And
I
you
talked to her for, I hung with her a little bit.
but you didn't put the moves on her.
No, she's too young.
Too young for you?
Yeah.
What is your cutoff on age?
I try to, 10 years older than my daughter.
Oh, good, yeah.
That's always got to be.
Isn't that a good rule?
That's a good rule.
I think it's a good rule. I have to throw some back.
And speaking of your daughter, she's got some huge career going in modeling, right?
You know what? Actually, she just acted in her first movie.
Right.
This is 40 with Judd Apatow and Megan Fox.
And how did that go?
And she killed it.
You saw the movie?
I haven't seen it yet, but I talked to those guys. She killed it.
So she has a
career.
career.
And it was improv. I was like, and she's 14 and a half.
She's only 14?
14 and a half.
Oh, I thought
she looks like she's 20. Wait till I show you a picture.
Wow.
She's doing really, really great. I think
Does
she's
she look
about
like
to
Heather?
sign with...
Does she look like Heather, her mom?
Yeah, she definitely does.
Yeah, that's a good look.
Yeah.
That's a very good
I'm
look.
in trouble, man. She has my gregarious personality and Heather's good looks. So.
boy.
That's
That's
awful.
a bad combination.
That's right. How are you going to keep that kid in line? I guess you can't.
You know what? All you can do is equip them with the tools to take care of themselves.
Is it
Because you
hard-
know when the minute they're out of your sight, they're acting up.
And so now you're clean and sober. Took you a couple of trips to rehab, right? Because when you get out, all of a sudden that OxyContin starts calling to you again. The drinking, right?
No, you know what? That never even came back into play. I forgot about it very quickly.
Just drinking.
Yeah, it was a drinking thing.
Did you think that you could take a couple of drinks and then deal with it?
Of course, you're going to try it.
You always try that,
and it don't work.
It doesn't work.
No,
it increases. It never decreases.
You know what? It just doesn't work, man.
It
just doesn't work. So you know, I got to be honest with you. You know, I'm like.
You're
healthier than I've been in my life.
You look really good. You do.
Thank
I
you,
gotta
brother.
say, you don't deserve to look this good with all the shit you've been doing.
Hey, we don't
When
look
he
our age,
said he
pal.
took his first guitar lesson at 52, I was like, well, how old are you?
Yeah, right.
Well, you know, the thing is, that keeps you young, too.
That's right.
Anytime you're learning something new and evolving like that, man, that just keeps you young.
Yeah, it does. So you're feeling good about a new record, and you're clean and sober, which is
he a
awesome.
teetotaler? He doesn't do anything.
You don't do anything now. Like if I go to dinner with you ordering a club soda?
I'm doing like Perrier and lime, non-alcoholic beer.
Oh, come on.
That's awful.
You'll have a few. We'll go out
Hey,
to
you know,
dinner.
I was listening to your show the other day about the Jewish men and they got to start drinking.
Yeah. No. We'll go out to dinner. You could have a few glasses of wine. It'll be fine. Imagine that. I would not want to be with you if you started drinking again. Everyone would blame me.
No, you know what? And I was kind of a happy drunk anyway.
Right.
I just started to, my life choices at that point were starting to get kind of blurred.
So you think you're capable of never having another drink?
Oh, absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's done.
Howard, I drank enough for about 100 guys.
And did John ever come to you and say, listen, you got to stop drinking?
Yeah.
He laid that on you?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I had a lot of support.
Did you tell him to fuck off?
No.
You didn't?
No, I knew. Listen, I kind of knew I needed to dry out.
Wow.
And I didn't know if it was going to be forever, but
Right.
I knew I needed to just kind of just get my
good
life
for
together.
you. So you're busy now. Are you worth $65 million personally? That's the figure I read on the internet, that you have $65 million.
Take a, give or take a few shekels.
That's nice, isn't it? That's really good.
But wait a minute. In the divorce, you don't lose a lot of money?
Hey, did Heather take you for a lot of money when you got divorced, or did you have a prenup?
Prenuptial.
Prenuptial. So you're safe. Thank God. Well, listen, Heather's got a lot of money.
She's got her own bread, man.
She's got money.
I was always drawn to, a lot of high-profile women, I think, because I think I really connect with people that are in the business and they understand what I do and I understand what they do.
Right.
And, that was one of those things.
So are you making a statement now that you mostly bang people in the business, like high-profile broads, right?
Not anymore.
Is that true? Is that like now you're
No. Hey, look, I'm single now, man. It's all good.
So are you dating anybody right now? Are you out
Yeah,
dating?
I'm kind of dabbling around. Nobody that's sticking. It's been such a busy year for me.
Right.
But I've never done 2 albums in one.
But you're not that busy. You can't get laid. I mean, come on.
Oh, you got to sneak that in there, bro.
Yeah. And Denise,
He's not sticking with one.
when Denise Richards came in here and she talks about you, she says you are a great lover. I mean, she was very highly complimentary. Like you really gave it to her. And that is a sexy woman.
She ain't so bad herself, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. She is a sexy fucking woman.
Yes, she is. She always has been.
Oh, my God.
It's very insatiable. And she's a good girl. She's a good woman.
She admits it. She says, I have to fuck like crazy. She loves it. She loves to fuck. I mean, guys, what are we talking about here?
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man.
Is she the sexiest woman you've ever been with?
Got to be up there.
Wow.
It's got to be up there.
So you guys got back together again, and now you recently broke up again.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Why? What happened?
Well, I think that we were basically going in different directions, unfortunately. Like I said, this has been the busiest time of my life between doing my record, writing and recording and all that stuff for the Bon Jovi record, and being a single dad.
How does that work for you, being a single dad?
I love it so much.
You do, but doesn't don't the kids usually kind of go off with the mother more? It's like it's hard for you to.
No, her and I have a very, very great relationship. I don't know what happened to you when you got divorced from your kids, but when I got divorced, my relationship with my little girl got better.
Right.
Because the time that she was spending with me, she was spending with me.
Right. And you got to do stuff on your own. Oh yeah, there you go. There's a picture of the two of you guys. Look at that. Very nice.
Oh. Yeah, there we go.
Look at you. And so you say things got better, And are you still friends with Heather? Like, can you go over there? I read that you actually go over there and have Thanksgiving and all these holidays.
Absolutely.
You can.
Oh, yeah, no, we just, at first it was, anytime you get divorced at first, always there's that, kind of period where you're like, you don't like each other.
Right.
Because you're fighting about finances and this and that and the other thing, blah, 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 blah.
Who's going to pay for this and who's going to
little hangover on that thing goes on, you know.
Right.
But, no, Heather and I, knock on wood, are really great friends now. Ava and Heather and I went to a wedding together about 3 weeks ago.
That's fantastic.
We text each other. Heather's working again.
What is she
really
doing?
well. Actually, she texted me yesterday, and she's doing a thing on Scary Movie 5.
Oh, no kidding.
Where she plays the mom of the Black Swan, and it's funny as shit, man.
Have you ever gotten to the point, post-divorce, that you've had sex with Heather again since the divorce? Would the two of you ever go back there once in a while?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
It can't happen.
I don't think so.
That line, huh?
We can't cross
Too much
that line?
water under the bridge, baby.
Too much.
Yeah.
Like, it's never been a night you're all hanging out, it feels good, your daughter's, hanging out, the kid goes to sleep or goes out with her friends.
You're not married
and all of a sudden
anymore.
you go, what the fuck? You know what?
Let's just go to bed.
You're Heather Locklear, I'm Richie Sambora. Why not? Why not?
I can't say the thought hasn't crossed my mind.
Right, why
but
not?
no, you know what? I think, you got to leave what's in the past, and, you don't want to start churning up that thing again, man.
I heard what came between you and Denise was that she was still in touch with Charlie Sheen, and Charlie's a big pain in the fucking ass, and you had said, look, man, I can't be with the chick if she's going to hang out with Charlie, because it's too fucking crazy, that whole scene.
Nah.
True or false?
False.
Really? You know
Absolutely
Charlie
false.
at all?
Absolutely. Charlie and I are friends, man.
Oh, you are?
And we've always been friends. Me and him used to hang out in the old days when we both were crazy.
Right. Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
You can hang with
he
Charlie
scared the hell
Sheen?
out of me, man. I used to have to leave sometimes.
You weren't that crazy.
I wasn't as crazy as him, yeah.
He's crazy.
Yeah, but you know what? He's a really good guy in a good way.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you hang out with him, he's a real man's man. You talk about sports, you know, you hang out.
Were you ever in the home when he has all these women and the parties and the hookers and the goddesses?
I never was. I always used to go out with him. I would meet him somewhere. We'd go to some parties, go out to dinner, things like that.
You two must have been up to fucking shenanigans.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Unbelievable.
Like the kind of shenanigans we did, in the old days too.
Yeah, well,
me and you.
I never had shenanigans like that. I mean, what did I do? Nothing. Do you think Kiss is upset when they're listening this morning and they're going, man, we should have taken...
No, I think they're quite well off.
Yeah.
They got more money than me, bro.
Would you say that...
Like a lot more money.
Well, yeah, because they charge... They build caskets. Is there ever going to be a Bon Jovi casket?
I doubt that.
When you...
I mean, I'm a whore, but not that big.
They are the real whores of the business, right? It's unbelievably... They're not ashamed at all of taking every dime.
Oh, no, they're shameless, man.
Sometimes you have to say to yourself, hey, I'll pass up on some merchandising, right?
Exactly.
You have to. But think of the arguments you would have gotten into with those guys had you joined Kiss. What a different life it would have been.
Oh, yeah. Incredible.
Yeah, remarkable. But let's get to the new single. So this is very personal, this song to you. What song are you going to be doing for us?
Here's a song called Every Road Leads Home, and it seems to be the impact track that everybody is kind of going towards these days.
Right.
But interestingly enough, I decided to go with an independent label.
Okay.
Which is interesting because the business is changing, obviously. Obviously, social media and downloading is really what's going on.
Right.
And I also wanted to make the record I wanted to make artistically.
Right.
And, obviously there's going to be a commerciality in it, but there's a lot of jamming in this. So you're getting the acoustic version of this stuff, but people are reacting to this track.
Now, some have interpreted this track, Every Road Leads Home. Home being Denise Richards' vagina.
Oh, my God.
That's true, Robbie. Am I right, Richie, on that? Or is that a misconception?
It was actually, it's actually me being on the road coming home to my daughter, actually.
Oh, how boring. Yeah. I thought it was about Denise. You got to tell me what she's like in bed.
She's lovely.
She talks up such a good fucking story here.
What are you going to do, man? I mean, she's hot.
And she's a freak. She describes, she's blowing her, she describes the whole thing. She loves anal. She loves anal, she told me.
I just work here.
I know. Are you into anal? I mean, giving it. All right. So this song that Richie's going to do. Giving, of course.
Yes.
All right. It hurts when they receive.
Oh, my God.
I mean, if you would write a song about how you manage to last when you're in bed with Denise Richards and I blow off right in 2 seconds, I would listen to that song. That's another song you should write. All right. Listen, Richie, so this song...
Next time, before I write a song, Howard, I'm going to consult you first.
Please do. So here's the song. Let's listen and see if we can understand what Richie's trying to say to us in this song.
Yeah, no problem. It's called Every Road Leads Home to You. All right, dudes.
Here we go.
Every road leads home to you.
I love that. Beautiful
Thought that was beautiful.
Beautiful.
I know.
Right?
Pretty good song, eh?
Real good song.
I liked it.
I'm telling you, man. Thank you, Robin.
I loved it. I loved it. Did you play that for your daughter?
Oh, yeah.
And did you say, honey, this is about you, or you just don't say
Absolutely.
anything?
She loved it.
She loved it. That's a beautiful thing for a father to write to his daughter, especially a divorced father, because Heather can't write a song for her. And you say, look, daddy's better than mommy, right?
Well, you know, hey, there's that, you know, there's the thing between a father and a daughter, man.
Right, it's very special.
That's just a little deeper, right?
Yeah, that's great, I tell you.
But you know what? The thing about the song...
I mean, what does Heather do? Heather goes out and buys her a sweater. You write a song for her. You know what I'm saying? I love that song. I love
the
it.
thing about this song, you know, it's like this whole album is interesting, you know, because I write stuff about me and what's happening in my life,
Right.
and I realize that it's everybody's stuff. It's
That's
actually
right.
universal. I mean, I think I've always been good about that, and I've always been good like that. I mean, even living on a prayer. Like I
Right.
said, you know, it kind of
It's
was
about
about us
people's-
struggling,
Right.
doing our thing, getting out of New Jersey and trying to make ends meet, but it became everybody's song, and I think that a lot of this record, I think people are going to relate to a lot because it's an authentic human record, and it's got a lot of fire to it. And if you listen to the lyrics, I think they're good stories.
Is there anybody you like out there now? Any young kids coming up, or are you just totally disillusioned with?
Man, no. Being from an independent label, man, I listen to a lot of new stuff that's really obscure, like in Silver Sun Pickups and Fits into Tantrums, and
you
My Morning Jacket is really good. I was listening to.
You still walk around and you put on headphones and listen to music and try to sort of see what everyone's up to.
Oh, I am a avid record buyer. I buy at least 3 records a week.
Who's your favorite guitar player? Who is your hero, guitar-wise?
I had a bunch, man. I had, Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix.
Right.
All the classics. Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, who played on my first solo album.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing,
Jimmy has come up, and I became like friends with my heroes, man. I hang out with Jimmy Page now. It's like serious.
Do you? Where do you hang out at his castle?
In London, man. He's got an apartment in London.
And you hang out.
What's that like?
Are you tongue-tied around this guy? Like, I mean,
he makes it so you're not. He's such a gent.
Do you go over there and play guitars, or do you
sometimes?
just...
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say. What do you talk about?
He came up and jammed with me a couple times, and I'm actually going to come ask him if he wants to come to London and play.
Does he have 3D TV? He must, right? I mean,
what we do when we hang out.
Yeah, what do you do? Because
we go to concerts,
right,
and go out to dinner. Just the two of us.
And do people freak out when you guys show up together?
It's kind of cool, man. Chicks are flying around, I'll tell you that.
Is he still getting laid? I mean, is he doing his thing? Definitely.
Yeah, man. He's a stud. He looks great. He's feeling great.
Jimmy Page, man. Look at you hanging out
isn't
with
that
this
heavy?
guy. I never think, who the hell does Jimmy Page hang out with? I never knew it was you.
That with Richie.
Yeah, man.
I'm not good at hanging out with people.
You were good at hanging out with me when we were when I was living
but
in
we
New
never
York.
hung
We had
out.
a good time.
Like we take me over to Jimmy Page's apartment. Let's see what goes down. I'll fuck with that guy.
Listen to music, play a little guitar. You know what I mean? Just that's
Well, what are you going to do while they're listening to music and play guitar?
I'm get one of those drums. What was that called again?
Cajon.
A cajon. I'm going to get a cajon now.
Okay.
I love that. It sounded great, by the way. You guys sound great together. Look, I could talk to you all day, but I'll let you out of here. Richie Sambora's new album, Aftermath of the Lowdown. I don't know what that means. It doesn't matter, really.
You want me to tell you?
What does it mean?
Okay. When you give somebody the lowdown, that's like giving somebody the truth.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what I did on this record about my life and what was going on. There's always an aftermath. It may be good. It may be bad.
So good to have you guys here today.
Brother.
Thank you for playing. And Richie, great seeing you. Known you so many years, and I'm very happy
Too
for
many
you.
years.
Yeah.
It won't be so long again, Howard.
All right, good. Don't be a stranger.
That's right. It's been a long time.
Next time I see you, be at Jimmy Page's place. We're all going over there for the big party.
Man. Hey, why don't you guys put me on America Got Talent? I'd love to play.
Would you?
Yeah.
The fucking show's over, but next
too
season.
bad, man. I know you had Green
Yeah,
Day. Had a bunch of cool people on there.
Yeah. Where were you? Who knew?
I don't know. Where was I?
Do you ever go over to John's house for those Obama get-togethers, or those fundraisers?
I haven't been yet. No.
With Al Gore.
I haven't been over there. You haven't gotten political yet?
Well, I campaigned for Clinton.
Yeah.
And I campaigned for Al.
Right.
And, John's got the Obama thing kind of locked up. When he wants me to play, I'll probably go.
Right. You'll be there.
Absolutely.
All right. Listen, boys, thank you for doing this today. Very special morning because of your music.
Yeah.
Thank you. I could have done another hour with you guys. That sounded good.
Sounded really good.
Really good.
Excellent.
Thank you.
So great to see you, man.
You look great.
Dude.
And you're sounding great.
Oh, bro.
It's a really good song.
Hey, can I turn you on to a record?
Yeah.
If you want to come see me play, I'm playing October 23rd
All right, I'm
at
gonna try and come
Best Buy.
Oh, okay,
Please
great.
be my guest.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Bring your old lady, bring your kids.
All right,
bring
great.
everyone.
I'd love to do that.
All right?
Yeah.
I'm going to get you a
really happy
record,
for
though.
All right, please.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
It's a pleasure, brother.
Richie, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, man.
I heard you say in the studio just now during the break, you guys have known each other for 30 years.
Yeah.
So you go that far back with
Howard and I go that far back. He was doing drive time, 5 o'clock drive time radio, man. And this is 1986 is the first time I was on the show.
Wow.
So it's like, 27 years or something.
What's been the constant about what you've appreciated about Howard for so many decades?
You know what? Obviously, he's always exciting. You never know what he's going to pull out, but that's what I like, I mean, and I think that, he's really about rock and roll. And I live rock and roll, so there's a lot of commonality. So we always have a good time. And actually, when I was living in New York, Howard and I would actually get together and go out to dinner sometime with our spouses, and we always had a great time. So I think we became friends after a while also.
Different professions, but you share the same spirit.
We share the same spirit, for sure.
All right, good luck with the new album, Richie.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
All right, man.
now that we've had some distance from the America's Got Talent experience, the boys...
Really? There's distance?
Yeah, of course. There's at least a few days. Now that we have distance from the America's Got Talent thing, Sal and Richard went out on the street to ask old ladies and anybody else he could find. Oh, what they, he kind of tried to ID people who look like they might hate me.
Uh-huh. He can tell by
Well, yeah, you
looking.
can tell. You can look at somebody and know if they like me or not. Can't you, kind of? I mean, let's face it. We can profile Howard Stern fans. So he wanted to see if I'd won anyone over.
How did you think Howard Stern did this year on America's Got Talent as a judge?
I was surprised that he was pretty good.
Did he win you over?
No, I don't care for Howard.
Would you like to see him come back next year, or would you like to see him replaced?
Replace him with an entertainer.
So he didn't win you over at all?
No.
Hey, I'm an entertainer. I mean, maybe
she
you
did say you were pretty good.
Yeah, but she didn't like me anyway.
You can't have the job because she doesn't like you.
She didn't like anybody, I think, if I remember this one correctly.
No. No, not really.
But you still think he did good, though?
He did good, but it's time for somebody else.
Good, but not good enough?
Yeah.
Your opinion? How do you think Howard did this year as a judge?
I was quite surprised, and I really enjoyed him. I did enjoy him. It's fine if he comes back.
Who do you think is a better judge on TV, Howard Stern or Britney Spears?
Oh, I'll go with Howard. I don't like Britney either.
I would say they're kind of equal. They were both crazy, so now they're both coming around.
How about Howard Stern or Simon Cowell? Who do you think would be a better judge?
I'll take Simon, because he's obnoxious.
I kind of like Howard over Simon, yes.
How about Howard Stern or Judge Judy?
Oh, please. That big mouth. Forget it.
Which one?
Judge Judy. I used to like. I don't like her anymore.
So you think Howard's a better judge than Judge Judy?
Yeah, I'll take Howard over her.
Wow.
Howard over Judge Judy, absolutely.
And Howard or Paula Abdul, who's the better judge to you?
I'll take Howard. She's annoying.
Howard, I like Paula, but I think it's just time to move on to someone that's a little bit more opinionated. She's very emotional.
Now, Sharon...
Not bad, though. I mean, I got that
You're
one
doing
lady.
all right.
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there with the ladies. That one lady's really, she just doesn't like anybody so far. That first one.
Yeah.
Osborne is leaving America's Got Talent. Who do you think should replace her next year?
Oh, Pink?
Betty White's great. Betty White would make the
Oh,
show.
no. Betty White. She could die sitting there next to me. Betty White. How come on all these other shows you get to sit next to, like
Nicole Scherzinger.
Yeah, let me sit next to Nicole Scherzinger if they're going to replace Sharon. Let me take a look at that. I don't know. They asked a bunch of people.
What do you think of Howard Stern, how he did as a judge on America's Got Talent this year?
He's wild. He's still wild. He's good.
Good?
He's good.
Who do you think will be a better judge, Howard or Britney Spears on The X Factor?
Howard.
Why?
Because I don't like her.
What about her?
I don't think she has any talent.
What about Howard or Simon Cowell?
Oh, he's nasty. Simon Coward is sort of kind of nasty, so Howard is a little nasty too, but okay. I would prefer Howard. Yes.
No, you see?
Even to Simon, huh?
Even to Simon himself. I'm moving up there. Maybe it's a good time to leave America's Got Talent. I don't think I could,
Go out on top.
Go out on top. You should see me at home wrestling with myself as I try to make my decision.
Really?
Yeah, well,
What are you doing? Have you made a list of the pros and the cons?
Well, I kept a folder all year of, everything. Really, I did.
Uh-huh.
Like the schedules and everything, so I could look at it and review it as I make my decision.
You just can't feel whether you enjoyed it and want to continue.
Can I tell you what I'm feeling?
Okay.
All right, I can feel. The way I'm looking at it is... I don't need a drum, but okay, if you want. The way I'm looking at it is, I enjoyed the show. I liked being on a network television show. I like doing something different out of my comfort zone. The actual working with Howie, Sharon, and Nick, I liked. I like the idea of the show itself. You know that. I'm a fan of the show. I like all the variety rather than just the singing.
Uh-huh.
But the singing's cool, too. And so all of that was pretty cool. I like that. And what I didn't like is that
I had sort of reorganized our schedules so that we could have more time off. And even our listeners were saying, like, hey, you take too much time off. But meanwhile, I didn't feel like I had any time off because every single vacation we had, I went to work. But I was working on America's Got Talent.
Well, I think it's interesting that you took extra work and are shocked that it meant eating into your time off.
Well, I knew that, but I didn't think it would be that much time because they had convinced me that it was only 30 days of work. But that's not true because it's like you got to get to these places. There's a whole buildup. You got to be here. It's not like the day I would do America's Got Talent, I had to go run around. Like I didn't get to go have a normal day. I would just sit around and
wait for America's Got Talent.
Yeah, and you didn't want to do too much because you got to be on your game, the whole thing. So that's the part I don't like, our schedule, because if we weren't on in the morning, it'd be one thing. But I was up at 4 in the morning, and if I had to go do a taping tonight or something, it wrecks me. So that's where I'm at. But then I keep thinking to myself, well, you know what? I built something this year. I started with the show, built a following with it. How can I leave now?
And wasn't it fun?
It was. I mean, some days it was. And some days it was like kind of a drag. But, but mostly fun.
You always look like you were having fun.
Well, hey, that's my gift. I look like the life of the party.
Mr. Mundt.
Yes.
Aside from Beth, many would argue that you spend the most time by Howard's side.
At AGT?
Well, in general, between the show and now after his first year in AGT. I mean, you were with him every step of the way, pretty much. Having this type of inside access, knowledge, conversation, what's your prediction for another season, for a return to America's Got Talent? What do you think is going to happen?
It's hard to say because the schedule was pretty grueling.
Right, and no one
for him.
Right, and you see that firsthand every day, every morning.
Yeah, and the mornings that he'd come to the radio station, the weeks that we had to go away and travel for auditions to different cities. It was a lot. It was a lot on him. It was a lot on everybody who was involved. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to be, and I'm sure it's not all about whether the scheduling is. I'm sure it's got to do with all kinds of different things, whether he goes back or not. It's just not one thing to decide whether he goes back or not. I'm sure.
But on the grueling schedule factor alone, what does that tell you in your mind? If you had a gun to your head.
Well, I know he loves doing it. I know he loves being the judge thing, and I don't know. I would say if I was to be asked percentage-wise, I would say 75-25 that he's going to do it.
Thank you, Mr. Mundt. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Seriously, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Gary, I just spoke with Ronnie Mund about the possibility of Howard returning for a second season of America's Got Talent. Other than him, I mean, you spend the most time with Howard and you see the effects of this show and the toll it takes on him the most. What's your prediction?
I'm on the fence. Not being politically correct. It's just, I saw him be very tired at the end of the season. If it were in the middle of the season, I would have said, yeah, I'll probably resign for another year. By the end, he seemed exhausted, and I know he enjoyed himself, but I also think he might have wondered whether it was worth it or not.
If you had to quantify it, in a percentage, would you say 50-50?
50-50.
I think we're going to be speaking to Bam Margera in about 5 minutes.
About his home invasion?
Yeah, his home got invaded, and some chick started making out with him in his sleep, and then started...
Was naked. She was naked.
Naked and then fingering herself on the floor, but he called the police.
While he called the police. That turned her on. He's calling 911. Oh, my God, I have to touch myself.
She masturbated while he called police. Robin's right. He turned her on with that. Oh, wait, here's Bam. We got to hear what's happening.
All right.
It's crazy, huh, Bam?
What up? I've seen a lot of bizarre things before, but this by far it big time, and I honestly never thought I'd be so scared of like a 24-year-old naked chick in my room.
Wow.
You know, it's crazy, too, because I was thinking about you, because you're on Jackass, and I've seen you do outrageous things. I mean, like, you guys will, smack each other in the head, you'll beat each other, you'll break bones, and the one thing that freaked you out was this naked chick.
Well, I mean, the thing is that, first of all, she wasn't forming any sentences right. Like, she wasn't making any sense at all. And like, she was saying things like, the owl sent me from Jupiter when I asked who she was.
And you don't think that's hot?
I thought that she was capable of getting a knife from the kitchen and either stabbing me or my girlfriend.
Do you think someone from Jackass was playing a prank on you? Like, did that thought occur to you that maybe the guy set this up?
Where's the camera?
Actually, for one split second, I thought it was my friend named David Lee Homo. He does appearances for me, and he was staying at my house at the time. So I thought that it was him playing a prank, like laying naked in my bed, like as a joke. But
yeah, because you know a lot of guys. Like, who was that guy you used to hang around with? The really crazy
Novak.
Yeah.
Like you hang around with such crazy, wild people, and you need to for your business, but. Like, I wouldn't trust anything that was going on. I would think everything was weird,
Yeah, exactly. And, I woke up to someone, like, kissing me on the lips and on the neck. And I thought it was my girlfriend. So I'm like, yo, quit it, man. I'm asleep. And, like, we'll do that later. And then I see that she's dead asleep looking the other way. And I see this silhouette of this girl. And then,
Do you think if your girlfriend wasn't with you, would you maybe banged her?
Well, I mean, like, she's not a bad-looking girl. Like, she's in shape, but I mean, like, she's been homeless and stuff, so she looks like she had like really hairy armpits and like this minging ass pussy.
Did she smell?
Actually, yeah, I could. And when I turned on the light, she said that the owl sent me from Jupiter, and that sentence right there was like, what, 911 right now, like.
When you say she wasn't bad looking, give me an example. Was she who'd she look like?
She looked like a hippie girl that in shape. She had no boobs. And she looked kind of like a skater girl, like one that didn't bathe too often.
Did she look like what's that singer's name? When you say skater girl, who's the girl who wrote
Avril Lavigne?
Avril Lavigne? Did she look like Avril Lavigne?
Oh no, she's drop dead gorgeous now, but
yeah, because if it was Avril Lavigne, I'd bang her. I don't care if she has a what did you call her pussy?
The owl from Jupiter would have been fine. A fine sentence.
Is that what you said? An owl from Jupiter sent me.
Yeah, and then
there's no owls on Jupiter, Robin.
And another thing is that when she was kissing me on the lips. The very next day, I get this minging-ass cold sore on my lip. So I'm like, this bitch just gave me fucking herpes, or else I have a major stress blister from all this.
No, that sounds like she gave you something. All right, so let's take me through this. This girl, had you been contacted by her before?
I knew of this girl who came from Florida somewhere who left her husband to come. She knocked on my mom's door from like with all of her bags packed and said, "I'm here to marry Bam and move in."
Yeah, that's all you need is another wife. You just got rid of one.
Well, my mom was like, "Oh, well, at the moment he's a little busy in that category." That happened like almost a year ago, and then
right.
So my mom called the cops, and they took her to a homeless shelter because she had nowhere to go.
Right.
And then so people around Westchester see her walking around, and she's pretty much known as Bam's Florida stalker.
Right.
So I never knew what she looked like. I just heard the stories.
Are you allowed to call the police at that point? I guess not, because she really hasn't done anything wrong.
Yeah, at that point, yeah. But so my girlfriend takes her down as I'm on the phone with 911, and she's telling her all kinds of complete nonsense, like nothing that she said made any sense. She would say, like, my parents invented goats and trailers. And then,
but wait a second. So the woman had been around town for like a year. She'd even gone to your mom's house. You put her in a homeless shelter, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So, like, how did she, like, so she must have broken into your house that night.
Yeah.
And like, you don't have any kind of alarm or anything like that. You don't live that lifestyle.
Well, I have 9 camera angles, but I mean, like, I have 14 acres and the whole place is fenced off. It's a 10-foot fence that you have to, like, climb. It's hard to do, especially when you're naked,
Right.
How did she get in?
Did
Do you
see
know?
it? Yeah, I mean, you have videotape. How did she get in? I
believe there's one part of the property where you can walk through the woods, but it's all marsh, so you're up to like a foot of mud if you want to do it that way, and it's pitch black. You can't see anything. Like, even I wouldn't be able to figure it out, and I live here.
I mean, this is a weird question, but is there any chance this girl would make a good judge on America's Got Talent if Sharon leaves? Because she sounds great. So wait, so you're saying somehow she negotiated the woods in the nude because did your cameras pick up the fact that she was nude when she broke in?
Actually, the guy who knows the password to check the footage is on a vacation, and I can't get a hold of him to look at it yet.
Yeah, we got to get a hold of that.
Yeah, we got to find out how she got in.
And will you release that video when you get it?
Yeah, and so when she figured out that I called the cops, 10 police officers, state troopers show up, and she's still rambling on about, like, the Agonists from Montreal, which is a pretty good death metal band that I sent me from Galaxy 5000, like, just making up anything. And so when she saw the police cars coming in, she just ran into the woods naked, and she absolutely had no clothes. And apparently people from Westchester who see her walking around know that she has a BMX bike. So I think that she drove from Westchester, which is 7 miles naked, to get here.
How do you know she didn't, like, have clothes on and then get naked when she got in your house?
Yeah, she might have walked through the mud.
We tore this place apart, and we couldn't find anything, and she didn't even know where her clothes was. Either she's completely mentally ill or she was on, like, loads of acid or something.
Well, let me get this straight. So that night, so she somehow gets in. And by the way, who's your new girlfriend? Is she super hot like the ex-wife?
Ex-wife, yeah.
Yeah, big time. She's from San Francisco. She looks like Angelina Jolie, but she's in the itty-bitty titty committee. She has no boobs.
Your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you got to bring her in here one time.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, we need to look her over if she looks like Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
That's hot. So where'd you meet that one?
Actually at a CKY concert in Petaluma, which is right near San Francisco, and she was in, like, the front row, and we kept making eye contact, so finally I just brought her up there, and then we just connected real well, and then been keeping in touch ever since. But
how old a girl is this?
She's 26.
Perfect. Nice. Yeah. So, okay.
27 now.
You moved her in, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Why not? Oh, there she is. Yeah, she does look like Angelina Jolie.
Oh, my goodness, she absolutely does.
Yeah, a little bit Mila Kunis, too.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, hey, man, that's fine. I'd move her right in, too. How long did it take you to make that decision to move her in?
Well, we would see each other on and off when I would fly to L.A. to film Jackass or something like that. But, after a little while, it's just like, all right, you're moving in.
Yeah, you don't want to leave her laying around somewhere, you know what I mean? So anyway, so she's asleep. You're laying in bed. Suddenly, you feel someone making out with you. You think it's your girlfriend. This broad kisses you, and meanwhile, just from one kiss, you're saying you got a cold sore. That's unfucking believable.
Yeah, like
who knows how long she was kissing you? Because she might have been.
And who knows how long she was standing there staring at him.
Right. Oh, it's so creepy.
That's creepy.
Oh
yeah.
my God. And so then when you finally stirred, you realized it wasn't your girlfriend because you looked over and you saw your girlfriend sleeping.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my. I mean, that's got your heart's got to be pounding a mile a minute.
Yeah, it's like especially when it's like dark and you can't really see. Like all I could see is a silhouette of a naked chick that I never recognized before.
Wow.
And it gets even better because I said she's known as the Florida Stalker. Well, a few of my friends do a radio show at a bar in town that she happened to show up to at the time. So they're like, we want to interview you right now. And this was about 2 to 3 months ago. And they say, so you came here from Florida to marry Bam, and where are you even living right now? And she said, I live in a tree fort, and they just thought she was nuts. Well,
tree fort.
Well, when the police came here, they searched my entire property for almost 7 hours, and finally they find her in my treetop casino. So she did this interview 3 months ago, which means she's been fucking living at my house without anybody knowing it.
What's a treetop casino?
It's for Viva La Bam, we did this episode where we built this tree fort in the woods. So I hardly ever go down there.
Right.
And nobody really does. But she's been sneaking in and living there.
But you call it the Tree Fort Casino because what, you guys would play cards and stuff there?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I'd like to build one of those, actually.
And never go to it.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
a naked woman living in it.
No naked women in my Tree Fort Casino. But like every guy's probably thinking, hey, that's kind of cool, but it's not, man, because that's scary. I mean, she could have cut your dick off or
Yeah,
something.
you don't know what she could have done.
Yeah, I mean, the most bizarre thing was just the fact that she's not, her sentences aren't making it, she would just say words. It was scary.
So do you think that so she's in police custody right now, right?
Yeah, and I feel bad for her because they gave her like sexual assault charges, stalking, trespassing, breaking and entering, robbery,
wow,
all this. How can you rob anything with your butt ass naked? But they pretty much gave her.
Yeah, but dude, you got it. Listen, don't say you feel bad for her because this is a chick who's not going to give up. That's number one. Like, look at Letterman. He used to have some situation like that. That chick was not giving up under any circumstance. If what the cops are trying to do is make enough charges, because in our system, the cops charge you with a bunch of stuff, and then it gets all knocked down. So you want her to be in jail for a while, at least just to fucking straighten her out a little.
Yeah, have her sentences straightened out.
To get help. I'd rather just have her get help.
Who's going to help her? Dr.
There
Phil?
may not be any help.
I don't want to press charges or anything.
No,
I just want her to get help or leave me alone or something.
Dude, listen to me. Listen to me, Bam. You respect me, right?
Yeah, big time.
Okay. You've got to press charges. You have got to. Listen to me. If you don't, then this chick's going to be out.
Yeah.
You've got to, man.
And she'll be back at the tree fort.
I mean, as crazy as your life is and how, you're one of those guys, hey, man, everything's cool. This isn't cool.
And the scariest thing is now that I figured out that she's been living on my property for 3 months. You know how many times I'd be alone at 3 a.m. in my kitchen, jerking off to internet porn?
Yeah.
She could have been peeking in the window.
Of course she was peeking in the window. She's got video of you jerking off.
Have her sentences straightened out since she's been in jail for a little while.
Yeah, what's the report? Is she starting to talk normal, or is she still?
You know what? I don't think she ever really talks normal, because even when she did that interview 3 months ago, she still wasn't making sense. That's what
I'm talking about.
That's why when she said, I live at a tree fort, they just thought it was another nuts thing that she was saying.
Right.
Was there ever any point where you were going to go, hey, let's do a threesome? Did you... You know what I mean? Here's a naked chick and your hot girlfriend standing there. And
I mean, just the fact that we didn't know who she was, that probably wouldn't have flew. But
right.
If it was a good friend, that we knew all about her, I guess it might be a possibility. But
no, you got to press charges. I'm telling you, Bam. It's That's dangerous stuff. Like, I know
you may
it's
not want to.
I know it's funny, and she's a naked hot chick and all that stuff, but
Yeah, and like I'm terrified. I was so scared that like I had to go to my neighbor Cresta's house to like hide and shit.
Right. I mean,
I'm hiding at my own house because I'm terrified of where she is. The police looked everywhere and just simply couldn't find her. And I guess she found some like little, because they looked in the tree fort and couldn't find anything. And then finally, when they double checked, I guess she was covered in blankets or something.
Oh, up in the tree fort.
Yeah, and that thing is so like rotten at the moment that like there's not even stairs to get up there. So she has to go on my mini ramp and scale a 2x4 that's about 15 feet long and 10 feet high.
No wonder she's in such good shape. Look what she's doing.
Yeah.
And I like Bam's house. It's like my mini fort, my mini ramp, my tree fort. I mean, it's like a 5-year-old's house. It's cool.
No, it's the Neverland Ranch without the kids.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like she had to climb up my mini ramp to get to my tree fort.
She scaled a 2x4 to the mini ramp.
It's so great. Did the other jackass guys call you to just say, "Hey, are you okay?"
Yeah, I mean, I got just tons of text messages, just like, just when I think that your life can't get any crazier or something like that happened.
Hey, was that your hot new girlfriend I heard in the background?
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah? Should I say hello to her, you think? Are you going to stick with this one?
Yeah. Hold on, I'll pass her on over.
What's she wearing?
Okay, what's she wearing? She's pretty much, well, she's been sleeping, but she knew I was going to be on here, so she's all out of it right now.
She naked?
She's in like boy shorts.
And that's it?
Yeah, and then her shirt, but like I said, she's in the itty bitty titty committee, so.
Does that bother you? Do you want a chick with big tits?
No, I just like the busted balls, but no, her personality and.
I might break into your house just to get to her.
If you wake up and there's a naked Howard Stern.
Yeah, if you see me nude and uttering words. I like that the crazy chick goes, it's an owl from Jupiter sent me. That's so original.
Yeah, she is pretty creative, I guess, because I never heard any kind of sentences that she was coming out with.
Is there any part of you that wants to incorporate her into the next Jackass movie? Like
maybe she'd be the first chick to be in Jackass.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes professionally you go, Yeah, I know she's insane, but like maybe we put that in.
So are we.
Yeah, we're insane. She's insane. It'll be great.
We would probably have to have like a team of security next to her because nobody knows what she's capable of doing. Like,
yeah, she's the real jackass.
And actually, you just mentioned Novak. He did a year in jail, and he pretty much just got out. But
oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, and he was only supposed to do 5 months on the weekend. So he would just do weekends and get out. But the idiot comes out and comes on my show on Sirius Radio, and he goes, George W. Hill Correctional Facility is idiots because they have 30 of us pissing the line, and the last person they're looking at is me, so I take my buddy's clean piss out my ass and pour it in, and somebody just forwarded it to the warden. So when he came in the next weekend, they're like, you idiot, we heard your radio show, you piss right now, and then he did, and it turned out to be hot, and they're like, you're getting a year in prison right now. So he thought he was doing 2 days on the weekend. He wound up getting a whole year.
If you were a decent man, why wouldn't you set Novak up with that crazy chick who broke into your house?
It sounds like a match.
Because, I mean, it seems to me that owls from Jupiter have been affecting Novak's life, too.
Yeah, actually, Novak's girlfriend is like super hot, and she's such a sweetheart, and I don't know how, a scumball like him could get a girl like that. And when he was doing a year in jail, he calls me up dead serious, and he's just like, yo, Bam, can you please go over and visit my girlfriend and bang her out, please? Because if you don't, then she's probably going to meet some goddamn frat boy, and he's going to run around town bragging that he banged out my girl. So can you please go over and do it, please?
Did you help him out?
Huh?
Did you do it?
Well, I did once, and then I said, he's like, so did you do it? I'm like, yes, Novak, you're welcome.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What a crazy life.
Like, it is weird, sick head. I can see that the logic of that, like, if you're going to spend a year in jail, you're going to get nervous that, you know, something might happen because so much time goes
Let me
by.
understand something. So
I'd rather have my best friend do it than some frat boy bragging around town about it.
So, Bam, you went over to the house where Novak's girlfriend was, and you said, look, Novak asked me to bang you so that you won't get horny and bang some frat boy.
Yeah, well, he talked to her about it before he called me.
Oh, he did. And he straightened everything out. So you walk over.
She knows what the deal is.
And she knows the deal.
She knows the deal.
And you go in, and, like, does she just get naked and start kissing you right away?
Well, there's a few drinks involved, I suppose.
Right. And then and then you fucked her.
Yeah.
How many times?
Just once.
And was she like, I'm really glad you did this because I don't want to cheat on Novak?
Now I won't be with a frat boy for a while?
I think it was more of Novak wanting to feel safe that at least somebody did it.
Yeah. Had you ever fooled around with her before?
If we did, it was just like a drunken thing at a bar. You know?
Right. And after you banged her, is there any emotional attachment, or does she say, geez, could you come back and do this again for me next week?
No, I mean, we're good friends, like super good friends, you know, but once I decided to bring Nikki out here, then, you know, that changes.
I see. So you only banged her that once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. What a lifestyle.
What's Novak going to do now?
Yeah. Who's going to bang his girlfriend while he's in jail now? If Bam can't do it.
He's out now.
He's out.
Oh,
now.
he is
All
out.
right. Yeah.
Oh, good.
So she hung in there with him. Oh my
God. He
God.
told me that he was he had a roommate, like this super thug dude that was like really intimidating, and Novak had the top bunk, and one night his roommate, his name was Streets, and he hears from Novak's bunk, he's like, yo, man, are you jerking off up there? And he's like, yeah. He's like, yo, you can't be doing that in here, man. I feel a certain way about this. Like, he didn't know which way he felt. He just felt a certain way. I mean, Novak took his morals and threw them right out the window, so he doesn't give a shit.
Did Novak have sex in prison with any dudes?
No, but yeah, I guess he did say it's like super hard to jerk off in there because you go to the showers, there's a bunch of dudes in there, so you can't do it there.
Right.
And the toilet you share with your roommate, so I mean, there's never really a time to do it.
Yeah, I guess at night would be the only time.
Fuck it.
Good old Novak.
Well, it sounds like he's on his way up the ladder now that he's out of jail. Things are only looking up for him.
What was he in jail for in the first place?
Because what was he in jail for?
He forged the doctor's signature for like pills, like Xanax or something. I don't know.
And he got a weekend sentence, and then it got increased because he went on your radio show and told how he was cheating on his urine test.
Cheating on his drug
Yeah, like
test.
what kind of dipshit was?
Oh my God!
Doesn't he know that somebody could easily just forward it to the jail and say that? Like
he's fucking retarded. And like, does he get mad at himself for that, or he's just laughing about it?
I mean, he just knows that like what he did was his idiot fault for saying that, you know.
Is he a dumb guy? I mean, he seems like a bright guy.
The thing is, he's like the most street smart person ever. Like,
right.
You could put him in the worst part of like Baltimore, which is like the heroin capital of the world, and like, you know, you could put him in the worst part of town, and he'll be able to talk his way out of everything, you know.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like, you know, I guess book smarts, like he's dumb as shit, I guess.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Well, what a crazy life. Hey, by the way, you can check out Bam Margera at bammargera.com, Margera.
Yeah.
You working on a new movie?
At the moment, you know how Knoxville did that he dresses as the old man and fucks with people.
Yeah.
In Jackass. Well, there's going to be coming up soon a whole movie about that, and I think at the end I play Spike Jonze's lover, because Spike Jonze plays a girl, so I'm his I'm his lover who Knoxville wants to beat me up to win her back, and
he's doing a whole movie of that character,
of the old guy, huh?
Yeah,
I love that.
It's still early in the works, but other than that, I hosted Punk'd, and they liked it so much that they want me to start doing it full time now, because
that'd be good.
Butcher's doing he's too busy doing 2.5 Men, I guess. So
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. I like that.
yeah, I mean, there's just so many like pilot type things happening that there's not really any answers on what channel it's going to be on. But like me and Tony Hawk and Jason Ellis are all working on a thing called Radio Clash, which is, you know, whatever we talk about on the radio, they film. Like if I talk about the Florida Stalker, then they would reenact what happened, you know.
Right. Well, hey, Jason's a good dude. I've had him on the show many times. I like him.
Yeah, I heard that. It was good.
Yeah,
you never had Hawk on there, though, huh?
No, I guess not. I don't know why. Maybe we will.
Wasn't it Hawk who alerted us to Tim's eating habits at the airport?
Yeah, Hawk was. We got to get him on here.
Have who on?
Hawk.
Oh, Hawk?
Tony.
Yeah, I believe he's in New York at the moment, because I just saw him there 2 days ago.
No, he's an owl from Jupiter, that guy. If you know what I mean. Well, hey, listen, Bam, it's a fascinating story. Again, another just great headline in your life. Be careful. Press charges if you want my advice.
I would close down the tree for it, because she's coming back.
You really say, oh, man, I just don't want to...
Bam, listen to me. You're like a real good...
She's already troubled. I just don't want to trouble her anymore.
Yeah, but Bam, if you don't trouble, as you say, her anymore, and I know you're a good dude, and like, you know, anything goes in your life, and, you know, and you're tolerant of a lot of behaviors, but she sounds like so disturbed that...
Yeah, the only way to get her help is to press charges.
You're actually helping her by pressing charges because, you know, maybe something good will come out of it. If you don't, she's just going to go right back up in the treehouse or whatever and just stalk you.
Like a cockroach.
I feel like it just seems like she's just too far gone to even have anybody analyze her to figure out what her problem is.
That's why you want her locked up.
Yeah, and you're not the person to figure that out.
Right.
Yeah, like you know when you hear people at raves who are selling like acid, and they have like a massive vial, and then it breaks and soaks into their leg, and then they're nuts forever.
Right.
Like I think that probably happened to her.
Yeah, I mean it's a sad story, but you can't get sucked into that sad story. You've got to really realize your own safety and
your girlfriend's.
And if that chick gets out, you better beef up security around there.
This woman says she wants to marry you. She might be dangerous to any other woman in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think somebody diagnosed her, and she's like officially like bipolar, schizophrenic, all that.
Yeah. Let me speak to that hot new girlfriend of yours.
Hold on.
What's her name?
Nikki.
Nikki.
Hello.
Hey, baby.
Hi, honey. How are you?
No. What's your story? You're super hot.
Oh yeah, you know what I look like?
Yeah, I just saw a picture of you. You look like a little like Mila Kunis and Angelina Jolie.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I like that. Are you doing any kind of work, or are you just like living with Bam?
Living here with Bam for right now, but
and my pagan biker buddy who's guarding the property.
Good. You need like 50 pagan biker buddies.
50, yeah.
And so your whole thing is just having sex with Bam, right?
Wait, what?
Like your whole thing is just like being with Bam and pleasing him.
Well, I mean, I love him to death. Yeah.
You have any
Don't
aspirations?
love. I moved out here from San Francisco.
Nice.
What'd you do before?
Huh?
Like, what do you like?
do before?
What's your aspirations?
I am a photographer, graphic designer, and I also pose for art naked, like, figure modeling.
No kidding. How can I, like a lot of
Even
us...
though I had
Don't
no
you draw, Howard?
Well, I've got a sketch pad with a Mont Blanc pen and stuff. I'm pretty much into sketching. Any chance I could hire you to pose nude for me?
Yeah, sure, why not?
What does a thing like that cost?
Well, I got paid $200 for 3 hours.
Oh, fuck. We'll give you $400 for 3 hours.
You don't even have to, but you're going to just throw it in.
I'm doubling your salary.
$400 for 3 hours.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you come down here? I'll give you $400. And
You want
come.
me to model for you?
Yeah. I'll draw
Okay.
you. I'd love to
All right,
draw you.
let's
I would
do it
love
then.
to. Beautiful. Well, you look. That's great. $400. You'll be naked for 3 hours.
Oh, so Bam here
Yeah.
was just saying that do you guys still give away boob implants?
What?
What kind of thing?
No, a boob job.
Boob job.
Boob jobs. Oh, he's so...
Do me a favor? Let me look you over when I'm drawing you. I got my suspicions are you don't need fake boobs. Like you're probably hot and you.
And Bam doesn't need you to win them.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is that I do have a butt.
I gotta see. I gotta sketch you.
Okay.
Do you mind if I position you when I sketch you? I have various positions I like.
I can work with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Probably all fours.
Yes, I can do that.
So how's that work? Like you come into my classroom, and then you like disrobe in front of me.
I take off my clothes. I have a robe. I go on stage and I do my thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then however we want to pose you, we can pose you, and we just draw you and stuff.
Exactly.
Fred,
Who decides on the pose?
I'll do that with Fred.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, when you go to these classes, who decides on the pose?
I do.
Oh, wow. What's your favorite pose?
How about this? I will show you all of them when I go in there.
Oh, great.
Will you ever, like, spread completely open so I can draw the inside
Like
of your
a
vagina?
hustler pose?
Yeah, like a hustler type deal?
With a leg up on a chair?
Yeah.
You would do that?
Yeah.
Wow. Anus, and the anus spread as well?
Oh, God, I don't know about that, no.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
No clear sphincter?
No, nothing like that, no.
Don't forget, we're doubling your pay, so...
Okay, so Bam here, he's going to forward you guys a photo that he took of me
Oh, good.
naked.
Yeah. Let me see that. Hey, Gary. Bam, whose address does Bam have?
Are you talking to
Maybe
me?
Gary's.
Does Bam have our email?
Do you have their email address?
No, but I could get it from...
Gary.
Okay, here, how about this? I'll hand you over the phone.
No.
Oh, no.
We're not done yet. Who else is going to
okay.
sketch? Well, I've got that artist known as Fred Norris. Have you ever heard of him? Fred Norris will be drawing you. He's a pretty famous artist.
Not familiar with my work?
Fred Norris?
Yeah, he'll be doing you. I'll be doing
I'm
you.
going to have to look that up.
Yeah. Wow. You sound like a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, a blast, I think.
We got this artist here, J.D. Van Gogh, they call him. He'll be drawing you, too.
J.D. Van
All
Gogh.
right.
Yeah, we'll all have berets on. It's going to be cool. We'll paint. It's going to be awesome.
Well, I'm excited.
Yeah. You in love with Bam?
Yes, I am.
Do you want to marry him?
I would love to be with him forever, yes.
Wow.
We're
A
just
lot
on
of
the
people
same
have tried.
wavelength.
Were you freaking out when that chick was in there?
Oh, God, I've never experienced anything like that ever in my life.
Can I tell you
Yeah,
something?
that was rather strange, but,
You better sit him down and say, listen, dude, you've got to press charges because this
Yeah,
girl
because I
could
got to be able to sleep.
Because this girl could come and kill you if she gets violent because she's jealous of you.
well, see, the thing is that she was not acting violent, which
Right.
is a good thing.
That's good.
She also, like, Bam doesn't want to press charges, but we did call the cops, and once we put this in the cops' hands, they take it from there, and since she did break the law and all that stuff, like, they're going to follow through with all the...
No, they have to.
She did do, yeah.
You listen
So, I
to
mean,
the
we're not
cops.
going to, press any charges because she wasn't...
No. Oh. All right, well, you better talk that over.
And Bam was talking about getting a gun, but I can't allow that because I am a felon.
Oh, you're a felon?
What'd you do?
Oh.
What did you do that you're a felon?
I caught my boyfriend at the time cheating, and I pistol whipped him.
Whoa.
That's a felony?
That's a felony.
She
How
pissed-
bad was it?
You pistol whipped a dude? Wow.
Yeah. Well, he tackled me down on the ground while she walked out, and...
Oh, you caught him in the act.
Oh, wow. Hey, you didn't shoot him. You just pistol whipped him. What is pistol whipping exactly? Where you take the butt of the gun and you just kind of smack him in their face?
Exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
Several times.
Wow. I bet your Bam won't cheat on you.
Well, I think he had his time for play.
And what did he do? Did he press charges against you?
It's kind of a long story. Maybe when I go in there and I'll model for you, I'll explain it to you.
Yeah, when you're naked, you can explain that to me. Why did you?
I mean, my dumbass decided to date somebody who was running a brothel, and there's a lot more of the story, but
oh dear,
I kind of don't want to go into it.
Were you hooking?
No.
You weren't hooking.
I was the photographer.
You were the photographer at a brothel?
They take pictures.
I don't want any pictures of that. Sir, would you like to have your picture taken with your hooker? How do you become a photographer?
There's no way in hell that I can do something like that. No way.
How do you become a photographer at a brothel?
Yeah.
Well, I met this guy who I didn't know that he was running it for a while. But then he found out that I was a photographer, and he said that he needed somebody to take some photos of these girls. I said, sure, why not? And so I did, and yeah.
So how long did you go away to jail for pistol whipping your boyfriend?
2.5 months in county.
Did you do any chicks in there, or
Oh, no.
That's not your thing.
Oh God, no.
Yeah. Were your parents upset that you pistol whipped the guy?
I was on 3 years felony probation.
Oh, so you're free and clear of that now?
Yes.
Yeah, but Bam can get a gun. Why can't Bam get a gun?
But she can't have a gun.
I live here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You mean Bam can't have a gun because you live there?
Exactly, yeah.
Holy mackerel. What's happening to our rights, Rob?
They're being trampled on.
Wow. So, jeez, you're wild. You're the whole package.
Yeah, I wonder how this guy could go back to the brothel after, a chick beat him up.
Yeah, right. I mean, was he humiliated that you had beaten him up?
Well, I would imagine so.
Yeah.
He looked pretty horrible with a huge lump on the side of his head.
Jeez, I can't wait to draw you.
Wow.
Wait, what was that?
Can't wait to draw this chick, Robin.
I know. She's exciting.
Yeah, I'm really going to do a good job. I'm a pretty good...
I'm excited, too.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy my sketch work.
Yeah?
Yeah, if you don't mind looking like a stick figure.
Do you actually draw?
Yeah, I sketch. I do. Yeah. I mean, it's no big deal for me to sketch a nude woman. I mean, I've done it many times.
He's also a photographer.
I am a photographer.
You are a photographer?
Yeah.
Really?
Shot a few covers.
Uh-oh. Well, I would love to actually see some of your stuff, too.
And maybe I'll take a few pictures while you're naked.
Oh, and you have to also see what Bam has been working on. He's been painting like a maniac.
Oh, I bet with you in the house. I paint, too.
I mean, I've modeled for him a couple times, yeah.
Yeah. Tell him to bring those paintings.
Bam's an artist?
Sure.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I guess when you have a girl who's willing to be naked all the time and pose for you, you become an artist. Why not?
Well, you got to see the kind of stuff that he does. It's
I want to see that.
Yeah.
With the naked photo that he's going to send over of me, he'll take some photos and of his art and all that.
How quick can I get that naked photo? Can I put you guys on hold and then you can get on with Gary?
We texted Bam the email address.
Oh, you did?
So just tell Bam to check his text.
They just texted you the email address.
Okay.
As many as he can send.
As many as you can send.
Please.
Oh, God.
What if you could actually see pussy lips?
Yeah. What'd you say? Yeah, we want to see her lips. Is that what he said?
Here, I'll let you talk to him.
Yeah, let me talk to him. I'll get to
All from Jupiter said what?
It was nice talking to you guys.
Hey, nice talking to you. You seem very cool.
Do you want the Hustler version photos?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you got those.
Version?
We'll take both actually, both versions, Playboy and Hustler.
All right, fair enough.
Hey, I've booked an appointment to draw her.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll come up and paint her too.
Howard is hiring. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got some people here who are artists. We all want to paint her.
Right on. Bring it on.
All right, Bam. All right. Well, hey, listen. Go to BamMargera.com, Margera, and check out what he's up to. And obviously, a lot of Cool stuff.
Oh, and you also have to follow Eric_the_cat at Twitter, because he's my new cat, and he's getting loads of followers. I take photos of him driving the Lamborghini and stuff like that.
Oh, my goodness.
Maybe they should lock the two of you up and let that girl out.
Other people's sentences aren't making sense.
That's right. I like that Bam met a girl that doesn't make any sense. He's going to lock her up. All right, Bam, you continue to be great. And we look forward to those pictures, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah, right on.
All right, later.
Definitely later.
Bye.
Bam Margera. He's got the treehouse thing going.
Yeah, I mean, who knew he had a tree fort for real that she could live in?
He's so much fun, that guy. I love his new girlfriend.
What's not to love?
Gary, do we have those pictures yet?
Not yet.
Oh, come on.
Now look at you all anxious. Calm down.
I feel like I'm...
They're only going to get here as fast as he sends them.
I feel like I'm by the microwave waiting for the coffee to heat up, and 30 seconds is too long. What are you doing? You checking?
Yeah, no, I keep checking.
You keep refreshing your email? Hurry up.
I keep hitting replication.
I just hired her. I doubled her salary, so we're going to be painting. Get the easels out, the beret. We haven't done that.
Bam's even painting. She inspires people.
Yeah. I haven't painted in a while.
Right. Do you still have the equipment? Where is it?
Yeah, we still have. We can get it out of the mothballs. It's my paintings are pretty crude.
It's at the museum.
Fred's actually pretty good. He'll probably do a nice painting of her.
Is your sketching better than your painting?
Yeah.
Maybe you ought to sketch while Fred paints.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
But the painting takes a while.
Yeah, I'll sketch and Fred will paint.
Took me 6 weeks to do a Baba Booey.
Yeah. Oh, it's a fabulous Baba Booey. Any luck there, Gare?
Oh, I mean, it's not like he just hung up the phone. You know, take a minute to get
Yeah,
to it.
God knows what Bam is doing.
Yeah, but he should have been preparing while we were talking.
He's not on the tight schedule we're on.
Look, he's a guy who doesn't want to turn in the girl in the tree fort.
He really is a jackass.
I love that she pistol whipped a dude, and he's afraid of the chick who broke into the house.
Oh, that is such a funny story. She's the greatest girl. Of course she's dating Bam. She dated a guy who ran a brothel.
Oh, and she had the greatest line, by the way. You know, you go, oh, is it Bam a little while? She goes, yeah, he had his fun. Like, it's all done now.
Yeah, it's all over.
Well, Bam
she
better...
pistol whips him.
Yeah, Bam better pay heed to that story.
Yeah. Still no pictures, huh? Look at these about 50 guys around Gary's
Everybody's
computer.
waiting. That's a line. It looks like the Apple store.
Yeah. All right, I guess I got to take a break. I was hoping for
and wait.
Yeah, I was hoping
Get
for
some
pictures.
patience.
Shit.
Nothing yet.
Nothing. Oh. Don't tickle my ass with a feather.
How do you know how Bam is with technology? He might have to wait for somebody to
No,
do
he's
all
like a
this.
young guy. He's these kids today can text and do everything. I got to get John Lieberman in here.
What?
He uncovered his story. Real quick, John, get in here because I got to do Robin's News, and we got a big meeting today. So you got to hear this. So John uncovered a big story concerning Sal.
Uh-huh.
So here's how the mystery started, Howard.
Right.
Ronnie brought to my attention this morning that Sal has worn hats to work the past 2 days.
And everyone asked me if I noticed, and I go, I never look at Sal.
So, of course, we solve mysteries, we uncover things. So I confronted Sal about this. What we've learned is the reason that Sal is wearing caps to work is because his hair cannot be exposed to light anymore.
What?
And that is because he is doing a hair treatment called iGrow,
What an
where
idiot.
51 light sources, including 21 laser diodes and 30 LED lights, are strapped into a helmet on his head, shooting these rays into his hair follicles in hopes of growing them. Now, we've done a lot of research.
He has a full head of hair.
It must be thinning to him because he was taking that.
He's an
Propecia,
asshole. Like,
wasn't
doesn't he realize there's probably no scientific data that supports that shooting light into your head is going to make your hair grow? I mean, what is that?
Well, funny you should ask. It's a low-level laser therapy, and it's hands-free. So you strap on this helmet. It looks like a bike helmet.
Don't you think if somebody came up with a way for hair to grow, the guy would be a multi-billionaire? And I'm not saying that this causes cancer, but, you know, aren't you a little afraid of shooting light into your head?
All I know is that the contraption, and Gary's bringing it in now.
It's a bicycle helmet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. What a douche fucking bag he is. He's a
It
moron.
probably does nothing, Howard.
He's the guy who like snake oil salesman used
Right.
to.
He's Ralph Cramden.
But he's not trying to make money off of this.
No.
He's just spending money on everything.
But this is great.
Put this helmet on, and what happens?
Well, you put the helmet on, and these 51 light sources beam into your hair follicles. In addition, you have to put on different lotions. It's a whole regimen. But get this.
What's he paying for that?
Well, we've done some digging, and it turns out this company sent this to Tim Sabian a while ago, but Sal, now wanting to grow his hair, has now taken advantage of it. But here's the thing.
Sal has hair.
Well, look, Sal wants to be in movies. He wants to improve his teeth, improve his hair.
Talent.
And here's what we've learned about how you actually have to store this helmet. It is stored in it looks like a hard chrome suitcase underneath Sal's desk. And when you open it up, you have the helmet and all the accompanying lotions and powders, and it's a whole contraption.
What does it cost?
It costs retail $699.
And how do you have to wear this every day, or
He looks
how
like
many hours?
Looks like he joined the gay roller derby with this hat. Look at this thing.
This company released this product in February of 2011, so it's a fairly new product.
Yeah, I bet. But listen, I don't know the company, and I'm not saying anybody's doing anything wrong. I'm not saying it's illegitimate. I'm not saying anything. But, it just seems to me if somebody really figured out a way to grow hair, it would be revolutionary. And I don't know what this is, but this guy's fucking retarded. He'll do anything to himself.
The thing is that your hair, it warns you during this treatment program that if your hair is exposed to light, strange things can happen.
Let's expose him to light.
And this is why Sal is wearing the ball cap to work every day. You have to do it for a week. No light for a week on your hair.
I mean, Sal, come here. I bet you if I told Sal, like, if you eat my shit, it'll grow hair.
It'll grow hair, he would do it.
He would do it. He'd do it anyway. You're such a fucking asshole. I can't even believe it. You're like a moron.
Why? Because I want my hair to look good?
First of all, you have hair.
Yeah.
What are you worried about? Oh, light got on it. You're stupid. Don't you think if somebody figured out a way to grow hair, that it would be the front page of every newspaper for a year?
Well, I might be the first poster child. You never know. I mean,
you don't know what this is.
I don't, but it's worth
Did
a
you do
shot.
any research? Do you know?
No, Tim gave it to me. I said, "What the hell? I'll give it a shot."
You don't care. Whatever someone gives you, you'll rub into your head.
Pretty much.
All right, good. Okay.
Not anything, but I did research it. Like John
No,
is
you
research.
didn't.
Well, I knew to put the baseball hat on and not to expose it to light. I'm doing
But
the proper.
what scientific evidence is it that they grow hair?
Beats the shit out of me.
Yeah, okay.
It looks like a cool contraption, so I'm giving it a shot.
Put it on your head. Let me see what it looks like.
Have you felt any overheating, Sal? Because it appears that it could overheat your head. Do you feel your head
I have
getting
no
warm?
nerves in my brain, so I don't feel shit.
I hope you go bald from it. That would be
That's
really
very
cool.
nice of you.
Look, you've got such a lovely full head of hair. Why are you worrying?
And these things massage in, and they work the follicles.
That's for people. Are you losing your hair?
A little bit here and there. I'm very self-conscious about it. I
Just
constantly
leave your hair alone.
Okay.
You're such a douchebag. Stop.
How funny that
Okay.
thing is.
You know what? I'll stop.
When are you going to do your next
You
treatment?
gotta plug you
Tonight.
Plug that thing in?
Yeah, you got to plug that in. Robin, we got to watch him do his treatment.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Oh God.
Sal, why were you angry when we asked you about it?
I wasn't
You seemed-
angry. Like Ronnie was just speculating something was up because I was wearing it. So I said, again, I'm not plugging the product. I just want to do this on my own. I didn't want you to break my balls and call me the douchebag and asshole.
You
that
look like
did.
Lance Armstrong when he's riding the bike there. Or you know, like when Will.i.am wears that like that thing on his
Oh
head.
yeah. And the Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, Black Eyed Peas. You look like the Black Eyed Peas.
I'm a black-eyed idiot.
Right.
How long does the treatment take at night? Like an hour or two?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, it's a long treatment.
Well, it's worth it. Look at him.
I fall asleep with it. And you know what? I can't hear my wife with this thing on, so it's pretty good. It's fantastic.
Right. Oh my God.
I'm
So
giving it a
funny.
shot. I don't know.
Right.
Who the hell
Oh, my
knows?
God.
I don't know anything anymore.
Yeah,
It's all-
you know what? If you rub my shit all over you, you'll grow hair. All right. Well, you're a genius.
When
Well,
did he
Indians build
start
houses
this
from
and
shit.
when
Maybe
will
it'll grow hair. It is useful.
What, Robin?
When did he start this, and when will he see results?
Never.
What's that, Robin?
I said, when did you start, and when do you expect to see results.
Beats the shit out of me.
Hey, seriously, for $500, I'll sell you my time-traveling sombrero that I bought in Mexico. What do you
It couldn't
think?
look any stupider than that.
Sounds good.
So you didn't pay for the treatment? You just like...
Well, Tim threw it to me a year ago. It's
Right.
been sitting under my desk, and one day I was like, I think my hair's starting to get a little thin. And I looked at this contraption. I said, what the hell? I'll slap it on my head.
Look, turn to your left. Your left.
Oh my God.
Your other left.
Get lost. You cadaver.
Ronnie had a big... First of all, I say turn to your left, he turns to his right. You finally turn to your left, and you see Ronnie's been holding an asshole sign over you for the entire...
Well, on TV, that's my left, so...
Yeah.
It takes 6 months to see any results, according to the company's website.
Good. That way they're out of town by the time you come to get sent.
So we'll do it before and after. We'll see what the hell happens.
All right. Good for you, Sal.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your hair growth.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Use your head, man. Really, seriously. Really.
I am with this helmet.
But just use your fucking head.
All right, so maybe I'll bail on it.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Thanks,
Maybe.
guys.
Think
I
about
appreciate the help.
When I see more evidence that this really grows hair, I'll...
Okay. We should put it on like Scott the engineer, maybe. He's,
Yeah, see if he grows hair. I guarantee he won't.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. All right, thank you for uncovering that big story.
Another mystery solved.
Right. You might have saved it. You might have just saved him a lot of aggravation.
I saved your life.
Yeah, you never know. I don't know anything about it. I'm just saying. And again, I don't know this company. I mean, maybe they've unlocked the secret to growing hair. I mean,
Well, they came out in February of 2011.
Right.
I think we would have heard about it if it.
You'd think so. Well, maybe people just don't know.
You spend so much time prank calling Tradio and all these other
this is
ridiculous product peddling services. Why would
Here's
you
the next
ever,
item that's going up for sale.
Why would you ever believe that a product like that works? It reeks of a infomercial scam.
Because it was under my desk, it was for free. Tim was nice enough to lend it to me, and I gave it a shot.
What was the tipping point with your hair? I mean, Howard himself said you have a full head of hair. I mean, what's been going on lately that you're noticing? Are you thinning
Nothing
it?
really. I just like to have it a little. I stopped the alopecia because it was from India, and Howard called it a piece of shitter. And then I'm using a little Rogaine, but then the Rogaine really wasn't working for me. So I said, let me give this thing. I just gave it a shot. It's called iGrow. I'm looking to grow some hair. What the hell's the big deal?
I overheard Will Murray say that you must have a death wish because, and I thought he made a great point. I mean, you're smoking electronic cigarettes.
Yeah.
You're putting non-regulated drugs into your system like alopecia and various other drugs you've been ordering. Now you're shooting like death rays into your hair.
Listen to me. Look at Keith Richards. He smokes weed, he does heroin, he drinks all day. Look at all these guys. Guys still going? Every day we have interviews with celebrities and stuff. They're doing tons of drugs. They're hurting their bodies. At least the drugs that I do are trying to improve my body. There's nothing wrong with trying to better yourself. I am using this helmet on my head to try to better myself. Like John said, I'm in the movie industry now. I do movies now. I got big things in the works. I just finished Jersey Shore Massacre. It's huge. Stars Richard Christie. Stars Bigfoot. You can plug this into your car as well.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Dude, what are you thinking? Where does this self-consciousness come from?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think I have to go see a therapist to find out. No,
has your wife been saying anything to you about your hair thinning out? Has she made you feel
I could come home with a ski mask and she wouldn't look at me twice. She doesn't reckon. When I had my beard, I had it on for 3 weeks. I said to her at the dinner table, I go, so what do you think? She goes, what? I go, my beard. She goes, oh, I didn't notice. So you think she doesn't notice many things.
So you're not attempting to impress her or do anything?
No, it's for myself. Would you be upset if you were losing your hair?
Yes, I would, but I'd be very, very skeptical about a product such as this.
Yeah, well, hey,
Show me how this is kept under your desk. They kept alluding to the fact that there's a whole kit, a whole case.
Oh, it's a whole thing over here. You got the remote control. You have.
Could you just turn it down for one more? Thanks, please.
You got this here. You have your remote control. You have the helmet that goes into this special box. Then you have your iGrow lotions. You have your daily shampoo. You have your conditioners. So
let me see that case again, if you don't mind.
You have the case here. Where's the top? You have this here, and then
Nice, sturdy, protective case. Even Benji says it's not a bad idea. Benji probably agrees with me. Why not give it a shot?
Well, I would read it up about it. But if you do get rid of it, let me know.
All right,
because I'll read into it and stuff.
Okay.
What's the name of the?
iGrow.
I'll look at. Is it? Do you know what's in the shampoo and stuff? Does it say?
Beats the shit out of me.
They don't have ingredients.
I don't even bother reading it. So, you know me.
I'll look it up, man.
I read a few testimonials.
Because that thing with the brush supposedly did have some research.
Yeah, I've seen that too. I was going to buy the brush. The brush was like $200.
I've heard of that for years. That if you use an electric brush,
it sounds like it's the same kind of.
Listen,
probably is.
Smoking electric cigarettes.
But it only makes the hair you have.
I'm
go
using
longer.
electric
It doesn't
contraptions
give you
on
new
my
hair,
head.
I don't think.
You know, people have pacemakers. Some people, it's an electric contraption for your heart.
No, I mean there is something. Yeah.
You know, you heard of RoboCop? I'm RoboCell. Gonna have Robo hair. I got Robo cigarettes. What the hell?
So this is
well, you
like
know, they'll have a RoboCop.
So this is like the double play carcinogen thing going on here. Like
sure, absolutely.
Double your cancer chances. Can you smoke that with the helmet on, please?
That's what I do at night. I put on the helmet. I get the rays going in there. So I sit back. This. See, Electro Man, right here. Great lungs, great head of hair. It's better than me. Keep laughing, everybody, all you bald idiots out there. Keep smoking your cigarettes with your yellow fingers and your stinky breath and your bald-headed, disgusting looks. Look at me. Electric cigarette. New head of hair. I'm gonna get the last laugh, pal.
Hey Stern fans, welcome to Fine Time, the show where you, the fans, get the opportunity to ask questions and interact with your favorite Stern Show staffers, whack packers, and celebrity superfans. I'm your host, Rachel Fine. Now, my guest today is one of the hardest working executive producers in the history of radio. He's very well read and continuously improving his education. He is a proud former Marine who served our country in the first Gulf War, and he has run for city council. He is often a target of Ned's song parodies, and he was once arrested for a live on-air stunt in which a pig was slaughtered. He has a history in Muay Thai, meaning that he trained for a couple months and then did his first fight in which he was TKO'd in 39 seconds. Howard once called him one of the best in the business. Please welcome from Bubba the Love Sponge Show, Brent Hatley. Thanks for joining us, Brent.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Outstanding. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. It's an honor to be on your show. You guys do a great job.
Thank you. I'm so happy to have you here. We had lots of questions come in, and I'm excited to ask.
Sure.
Fantastic. First one comes from @Kovac8. @Kovac8 asks, who are you endorsing for president of the U.S. and why?
That's easy. Ron Paul. I've been a long-time Ron Paul supporter because he's the only one that is truly anti-war. Because you don't really understand how brutal war is until you go.
Yeah.
Ron Paul was a surgeon during Vietnam, and I think he understands why he's anti-war and why he's not for interfering in other countries' business, number one. Number two, he wants to legalize marijuana. So what else do you want from a presidential candidate? I don't understand how he's not winning, but that's my endorsement is Ron Paul.
Excellent. Next question comes from @Cindy23. Cindy asks, has there ever been a moment on the show where you said to yourself, okay, we really screwed up this time and we will be in a lot of trouble?
Yes. I think I kind of got that feeling the day when you talk about the hog incident I kind of got the feeling that day. Matter of fact, I was the one that was outside. I was on the cell phone reporting it. And I didn't really, like, while I was in the moment, get that feeling. But afterwards, like, because we were in a big building with salespeople and human resources and, like, corporate America, and the reaction of some of the people in the building, I was like, this is going to be trouble. I didn't know it was going to be as much trouble, but I thought it was going to be some trouble.
You felt it coming.
Yeah.
Do you regret it now, looking back?
Of course, yeah. I don't think we should ever do that again. But on the brighter side, we were acquitted, and our show has not been number one since we did that. So it had some good upside to it as well, but we just wouldn't do it again.
Gotcha. Next question comes from Martin W. Martin asks, have you ever considered a serious political run?
Yes, I just ran for city council in the city of St. Petersburg in District 3, which is where I live. And in 3 years, I'm going to run again. And this first time was really, I knew I wasn't going to win. I was running against a longtime incumbent, but he's out. He's termed out, and it'll be an open seat in the next term. But I needed to run this last time just to get the feel of how the political process works. And I did learn. I learned a lot about how the political process works and how to get elected. So I think I will succeed when it's an open seat.
And will you be running on the legalized marijuana ticket?
Well, see, that's not in the purview of city council. If it was in the purview of city council, yeah, that would be my position. But my position right now is we have red light cameras in St. Pete, and you get a ticket before you get a chance to even argue your case in front of a judge, and you don't get your Sixth Amendment right to cross-examine your accuser because it's a camera. Right. So my thing would be getting rid of red light cameras. I think that's a step towards European socialism when you start putting cameras on every corner. So my big thing would be more freedom for everybody and no dogs chained up in the yard.
I love it.
That's one of the ordinances I would make is you cannot chain your dog to a tree in Florida outside and just leave it in the yard.
I think the people need to vote for him. This is an excellent platform. Next question is from Angelo Valences. He asks, what is the most bizarre setup you ever had to prepare for regarding an on-air bit?
It'd have to be the rat milkshake.
He's holding the rat by the tail and it's circling over the blender. This is a dead rat. This is as dead as it gets.
I swear to God.
This is bona fide, man.
I swear to God.
That is the nastiest rat I've ever seen.
I swear to God, I am going to puke. Now, they're going to blend it. I will puke. I swear to God, I'll puke.
I had to go out. There's actually a place in Florida, believe it or not, called the Rat Farm. And I had to go see this redneck named Buzzy. Awesome. And what he would do is he gave me, they farm so many rats, a certain amount of them just died just because. So he'd give me the rats that had just died of natural causes, and I'd have to go pick up the rats from the rat farm to come back to be able to do rat milkshakes on the air. So that's the most bizarre by far.
Yeah.
Amongst many bizarre things that we've done, that was the most bizarre for sure.
That sounds like it. Next question is from Eric P. Eric asks, are you still into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
I love it. I would love to do it. I'm out of time. We do 2 shows a day. Plus, I do a sports show every other week, and then every Friday I do a talk show on serial killers. So I'm really, really busy, and I wish I could train more. I may take some private lessons. Rob Kahn was talking to me about coming down and doing some private lessons a couple times a week.
Right now, for those of you listening, Hoist has Brent in a back triangle, and he's squeezing the life out of Brent.
But I still love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's great exercise. It's a great lifestyle. It's a healthy lifestyle. That's what I like about it the most.
Yeah. Alex from Hamburg asks, would you consider Bubba a close friend, and do you hang out in private?
Yes, he is a close friend. Since he bought his racetrack, I haven't been able to hang out with him much because it's a business, that racetrack. It's a good business because it's a good, for what they pay for their entertainment dollar. They get a lot for it, but Bubba physically has to be there to run the races, so I don't see him as much as I used to. But if the racetrack makes him happy, which it really, really does, you can see that he's much happier now owning a racetrack. I think that that's good for him.
Sophia M. asks, if you were caught sleeping on the job, what would Bubba do to you?
Bubba would put me on the torture rack and shock my balls to no end if I was caught sleeping on the job. And see, the difference is I've got a glass window where Bubba can see right in and look at me at any time of the day. Bubba can see what I'm doing. So I really couldn't sleep on the job without him noticing.
And having a torture rack to electrocute your nuts is good motivation to stay awake.
Yeah. And plus you got to stay awake to make sure you're hearing everything that Bubba's saying on the air.
Yeah.
Because you can't get caught, with a reporter from the newspaper calling, hey, did Bubba say this, and this? You have to know exactly what he just said. So no chances for me to sleep on the job.
Gotcha. At Dave Lamford 28 asks, what is the worst thing you have ever done to piss Bubba off, and how did he react?
It's going to sound lame, but it was kind of big at the time, is we were in Jacksonville one time to do a broadcast, and this was before the days of GPS. It was in 2002, so we really didn't have GPS. So I had MapQuested from the hotel to the radio studio that we had never been to, but we got all kinds of lost, and we walked into the door to the radio station at 6 a.m., so Bubba freaked out. I mean, he was really, really, that's the maddest I've ever seen him. Because that feeling of being lost is bad anyway.
It's awful.
And being lost and knowing that you have a show to do and no time to do any prep, he was furious about that. So that was the worst. But now we got GPS, so we don't get lost anymore.
Excellent. Next question is from Perry R. Perry asks, who is better on the radio, Howard or Bubba, and what does each bring to the table?
I think that's not, for me, the way I listen to radio, that's not really fair to compare, because they both do different things. I mean, it's all relative. Like asking somebody who's your favorite band. I like different bands for different reasons, and I like them both for different reasons. Howard is, these days, a lot more calm and paced and very deliberate. When I first started listening to Howard in the early 90s, he was all kinds of pissed off. And that's when I really became a fan of Howard, because he would just bring people in machine gun and just mow them down. Bubba, I like on the air because you never quite know. Like sitting in the chair producing the show for the full 4 hours. Honestly, my stomach is in knots because I just don't know what he's going to do. And that's the thing about Bubba, is you just don't know where he's going to go with something. And they're just different like that. Howard's very deliberate, and he kind of knows where he's going to go with things, and Bubba's like a bull in a china shop, so they're different, and you can't really say one's better than the other. It's all relative, and I've got a lot of respect for Phil Hendry too. I mean, I'm a huge fan of his, but they all three do different things, and I think that just like music, you've got to appreciate each air personality for what they do.
Absolutely. Next question comes from @Zuba. Zuba asks, if you had the chance to take over producing Howard's show, would you leave Bubba?
That's a tough question. It really is, because I got a lot of respect for Gary. Gary's a good friend of mine. I love Gary. I really do. And everybody that works at Howard's show does a great job, and they've all been fantastic, just great to me. That would, it would be tough for me to live in New York City. It would. We have a lot of room here in Florida, and Bubba kind of leaves me to be a little bit more autonomous. So I don't know. It would depend. Bubba's been good to me, so it'd be hard to leave Bubba after he's been so loyal to me after all these years. But Howard's also been great to me as well. So I would do it if Bubba didn't have a show anymore.
Fair enough. And Gary was not working there.
Yeah, I would never take Gary's job. I'd never step on Gary's toes. Gary's a great guy. He really is. People give Gary a hard time, and I know it's fun to goof on Gary, but Gary, deep down, is awesome. I love Gary.
Awesome. I want to thank Fred for taking the time to answer the questions that you, the fans, submitted. Keep sending your questions in. You can tweet them, you can Facebook them, you can email them, you can even send a video submission. Remember, this is your show, so don't screw it up. Until next time, I'm Rachel Fine, and I hope you had a fine time. I had a fine time with you, sir.
Thank you.
That was fantastic. Enlightening.
In our email, Howard grilling JD on the air equals awesome. There's nothing better when Howard questions JD on his personal life. Girls, his apartment, video games, anything. It's always awesome radio. Can you please do this every time you're on the air? A lot of negative comments about Scott DePace, about his comments on Matt Taibbi's Rolling Stone article. Does Scott DePace really expect we listeners to believe that Howard doesn't understand Matt Taibbi's Rolling Stone article? Yeah, I was listening to Scott DePace on the wrap-up show. It's so insulting. It's like he probably thinks I don't have a reading comprehension of any kind.
Dude, it's a terribly complex article.
Terribly complex.
Too complex for Howard.
I think I got it.
There's gaping holes in it.
You know, believe it or not, Scott, I managed to get through college and read, so I have a feeling I could understand Matt Taibbi's article. It wasn't that complicated. It was complicated for you.
You can understand what he wrote, but there's things missing.
There are things missing.
What happens to the capital that's given to the company to buy it out? That money doesn't disappear.
No, the company has to pay it back.
Oh, yeah, they have to pay it back, but...
And then they're in debt. What the fuck part of that don't you understand? That's what a leveraged buyout is.
The money doesn't disappear.
And the management fees are tacked on to the to pay off Bain Capital's management team that bankrupted them in the first place. Look, I'm not going to go through this again. You don't listen, dude. You're so mistrustful of anything that doesn't fit into your limited scope of the world.
Did you read the article I
Open your mouth. No.
Of course not.
I haven't seen it.
All right, well, it's up there.
When did you post it?
Last night about 6 o'clock.
Well, I didn't see it, but I'll look for it today. I'm sure it's retarded. But I will read it. I have an open mind. I'm trying to learn. You're not. You're just trying to defend some weird party that you're a part of.
I read the Taibbi article.
Yeah, good.
And he saw the gaping holes that you wouldn't know about.
No, it was too complex.
They were glaringly obvious.
He said, Howard, he said yesterday you couldn't possibly understand the complexities of the stock market.
But he does?
But he
None
does.
of us do. I said none of us here understand investment.
Let me go listen to what you said. Let's see what you said. Here we go.
Because we're probably not going to understand this either.
You're so fucking smart. With that, what education was that? What?
Glassboro State.
That Glassboro State.
Did very well there.
Guys, are you doing that in there or am I? Holy mackerel.
What's happening in front of you?
I want to get to Gary Page 1 and the thing just floats. All right, let's see. Scott DePace and what he feels.
This is a tough time of year. Once election season comes in and these guys start with their liberal bullshit, it drives me nuts. You know, the media starts giving...
I'm not a liberal. I just read stuff and make an opinion. I don't go into anything belonging to a party like you. I listen to the candidate. Jesse Ventura put out an excellent thought. There shouldn't even be parties, so that you'd had to examine the man and what he stood for. You know how many people wouldn't know who to vote for if it wasn't for the party? They just do whatever the party is. It's like a gang.
It's not what I do.
When you're in the gang, sure it is. When's the last time you voted for a Democrat?
Locally, I have.
I doubt it. You're just saying that now. When's the last time you voted for?
I would vote against Bloomberg if I could, if I was a New York resident.
Yeah, but you're not. When's the last time you voted against a president?
Oh, president never.
Who was a Republican?
Because there are things that.
And then ask me how many times I voted Republican in the presidential elections. Many times.
The social issues are your deal. That's not.
No, they're not. That's not how I vote.
If a Democrat sounded conservative, I would vote for him.
I tell you what, I wouldn't want any Mitt Romney appointing anybody to the Supreme Court. First of all, I mean, how...
Of course, because abortion's going to get over.
Not abortion. On every single fucking issue. It's out of line. Gay marriage. And not that it's up for a Supreme Court vote.
But does Scott actually agree with the Supreme Court decision that corporations are individuals?
Absolutely.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
Of course he does.
You can't... Oh, God.
You believe that a corporation is an individual?
It is people. When people have money, they're allowed to spend it how they want. If they want to campaign for a certain
you think that's good?
That's fine.
So corporations should have that right, too.
Corporations are made up of people. Yes.
But they're not individuals.
They're corporations.
And they're buying the vote.
What if I own the whole corporation?
But
that's
that doesn't
you
mean,
doing something.
So why can't you personally donate?
I don't know. Let's not change the subject.
All right.
That you can't discuss.
That was probably too complex for us.
You jumped the track. I'll have to think about it some more.
All right. All right, that's good. You're thinking.
all this bullshit, and then Howard starts reading it. Listen, Howard
starts reading.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
dangerous when you start.
Yeah. If Howard wouldn't read,
One side. You read the New York Times.
and by the way, what is that whole dumb Rush Limbaugh rap? The New York Times is The New York Times is probably the greatest publication that I can think. What newspaper do you think is more informative?
Look at the Wall Street Journal.
Rupert Murdoch's Wall Street Journal. You think there's no agenda?
It used
there?
to be a great
That's
paper.
slanted, right?
This is a guy around an organization that wiretapped people. How are you going to trust any of that?
That was in England.
It's his organization.
They don't do that here.
Holy cow. Nothing bothers him.
Well, he always has a rationale.
No, he does a
And by the way, let's point out that Bloomberg, if I may, to Scott, he's an independent.
He was a Republican at one point. At least he claimed to be.
Yeah, but he's an independent, so you hardly would be voting.
Because Republicans got sick of him.
It's very funny, though. When he said he would vote for a Democrat, the Democrat would have to actually talk like a Republican.
Of course, because I'm conservative. That makes sense, doesn't it, Robert?
But what are you conservative in? I mean, you think you're conservative? Do you think the economy could be solved in a simplistic way? I mean, Bush did exactly what you're talking about for 8 years. There was a very simplistic approach.
Most of that time, we had a great economy.
Don't you think Bill Clinton...
Until it fell apart under the weight of all that bullshit they were doing.
Don't you think Bill Clinton's approach to the economy and a very sensible way of sort of being compassionate?
Oh, so Bill Clinton was sensible and compassionate.
I think
Bush
so.
Was just evil and out to make his rich friends richer. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, I think you just summed it up.
Yeah, all right, good.
I think Bush was. I think Bush was a disaster as a president. I think. Let me ask you this, Scott. Why is it that Bush was not invited and Dick Cheney, your two heroes? Why do you think the Republicans, A, didn't mention their name at the convention, and B, didn't invite them to speak? Bill Clinton, former president, invited to the DNC. Why do you think? Let me guess why.
Bill Clinton shunned the election before that because he had just got off of the
his
Monica
wife
Lewinsky
ran.
Stuff?
No, his wife ran.
The Monica Lewinsky stuff. They were hiding Bill Clinton last time around.
That didn't affect anybody but him and his marriage.
You guys
Scott, why didn't the Republican Party invite your hero who did a great job,
obviously
George
he's
Bush?
Damaged goods right now with the media and how they've
With
dealt
the media. You think the media? You mean the people did it? The media
Tell
ruined
me
it.
the policies that Bush did that gave us this economy right now. Go ahead.
He put us in the war in Iraq, an illegal war, and bankrupted the fucking country. How's that?
That did it? That bankrupted the country.
How much money do we spend?
Conservatives believe we wouldn't even have to pay for a war if we had one.
You just asked me for one example, and I just gave it.
No, I want the policies.
You don't think that's a big deal?
The policies domestically that he enacted that hurt our economy. Go ahead.
What do I think he did?
Yeah, you're telling me he was irresponsible.
I'm telling you that his simplistic approach to the economy, which was supposedly to cut taxes, which he didn't, which he didn't.
That hurt the economy, huh? Cutting taxes.
No,
it didn't help.
When you just cut taxes and you think that that's going to cure an economy, it doesn't. If you're under the impression that government doesn't, listen. What if we had no rules on Wall Street, which we practically don't?
Which
Do you see the abuses that have happened on Wall Street? Do you see the amount of people that have rip off? Do you see what happens when there's no regulatory committees and a Bernie Madoff just robs people blind, where they're busy investigating me instead of the fucking instead of a Bernie Madoff? This is what happens when there's no regulations in place. Less regulation. This is what happens. We have a government for a reason. People are corrupt. You do need government intervention.
Did Scott see the article in the paper about the fine that was just leveled against the stock?